You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
It's a new year, and I know it's a new you, and we've partnered with our friends over at Factor Meals yet again for the new year. Factor Meals, as you know, is a perfect option for those that don't want to cook, like I don't, but you also want healthy options, and they have a variety for you to choose from. So let's get started with the new year with our friends over at Factor. New year, big goals, no time to cook? Factor makes it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs, so you can eat well without shopping or cooking. And I've talked to you guys before. I've spoken and gone through Factor meals with my own dietitian, and we've compared it to other meals, and this one has been a great option for me. So there's quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, or refined seed oils. You have 100 rotating weekly meals. Options include high protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean diet, GLP-1 support. Because people forget this. I was just watching Dr. Frida. I don't know if you guys follow her on YouTube. She was talking about even if you're on GLP-1s, you need to be making sure that you are having a proper diet. It's not something that you can be on and just eat whatever you want. They also have some ready-to-eat salads. Plus, the new Muscle Pro collection supports strength and recovery. You know, I use this, so I think you should too. Of course, I've gotten you a deal. Head on over to factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off your first Factor box and plus free breakfast for 1 year. Please keep in mind, offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easier with Factor. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. And welcome back. Guys, let me know if you could hear me, see me, all the good things. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Just really rewatched the episode this morning, then rewatched the after show as well. Shout out to everyone that's watching. I see people watching from Ghana, people watching from New York, people watching from Maryland, people watching from Brooklyn. Let me go. Tennessee's in the house, Philly's in the house, Jacksonville, Florida's in the house, the Bay Area is in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where you're watching from. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. It's a little frigid Monday here in New York City. But speaking of New York City, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show is returning one night only. One night only. Is coming back to the Green Room 42 on Friday, March 13th. Get your tickets. In-person tickets are available. Meet and greets are available, but this is the only show where there is a live stream available. So no matter where you're watching from, Kenya's in the building, South Africa's in the building, you can also watch via the live stream ticket. The live stream ticket gives you access to the show for a week after the show, but you have to buy your ticket before the show. Ticket information on the Kempire After Dark live show, one night only, is available in the description. Shout out to everyone in the building. Houston's in the building. Texas is in the building. Las Vegas is in the building. Jersey's in the building. What's going on? The DMV is in the building. Hope you guys are fantastic. If you had to rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? How would you rate it? Norway's in the building. What's going on, Norway? I would rate this week's episode, because I have to kind of put aside some of the critiques, but I still would rate it as pretty high. I think they did well. Mauritius is in the building. What's going on, Lene Views? There we go. What's going on? I probably would give it an 8 this week. I have a lot of thoughts, and it's going to be a roundabout, up and down, so buckle up. Buckle up. I have a lot of thoughts. I wrote a lot of notes last night when I was watching it for the first time. Then I rewatched it this morning. Then I watched the after show this morning. Then I watched the after show again. That's why I'm a little tardy for the party. I was moisturizing and watching the after show, or listening to the after show. I had to shave my head too. How's the head looking? Moisturized? So I had to do that. But here we are. So let's just get into, I also watched Watch What Happens Live last night, begrudgingly, because, I don't really love watching Watch What Happens Live. But I wanted to see what Dr. Contessa had to say. I also wanted to see what Angel had to say. I also predicted that Angel would be on Watch What Happens Live this week, and she was. But they also filmed the reunion this past Thursday. We found out that Wendy Acefo did attend. We also saw that Karen Huger will be making an appearance at the reunion. They said later parts of the reunion. So probably in part 3, they probably will promote it, like give us a sneak peek in part 2. And then we will see Karen Huger in part 3, just to keep people watching the entire reunion. Okay. But let's get into episode 14. Yeah, we're at episode 14 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Angel, at the end of last week's episode, confronts Giselle, because Giselle's, well, I have a little bit more information on that eviction, because she keeps saying it wasn't an eviction. And I get why she would be upset. I get why Angel would be upset that someone would allude that it was an eviction. I wouldn't like that either, because we have to keep in mind what the connotation of eviction means, meaning that you didn't pay your rent and you're getting kicked out. No, she got kicked out because that's the time she agreed upon. I believe that. I think it was an Airbnb or some sort of Airbnb type space. So it's a short-term rental. Okay? So I get it. But they are, and I predicted this last week. I think it was Miss Esquire that called in and confirmed, like, your prediction was correct, because the preview showed you that it was Wendy's story that she spoke to someone, the real estate agent, the number keeps changing. Did you guys notice that? I thought she only wanted the Airbnb that looked like $50,000, like a $50,000 rental, but she only was willing to pay $2,000 to $3,000. This week, it's a $14,000 rental. It has to look like a $14,000 rental, but she only wanted to pay $1,000. So which one is it? Am I confused, or are they confused? Which one is it? I'm trying to figure it out. Because now I'm looking at the people bringing this exactly, asked this as stale tea. This stale tea as like, and we didn't like this with Stacey, so we have to be consistent. We don't like a gang up or someone dead set on the person that they're targeting, no matter, even if they give you a legitimate answer, that you're dead set on not believing them. We didn't like it with Stacey. I don't think anyone likes watching this with Angel. However, Angel, I will say this, though. Your business is to host. This week's episode is not looking good for your business, because no matter what, yes, things happen, but it doesn't look good when you are in a business of hosting people and you are coming across like not the best host. I have a lot of thoughts on that, and we're going to run through it. Exactly. Kira says you can't get a $1,000 rental anywhere. Definitely not in New York City. I mean, you could get one, but you're not getting a palatial place for $1,000. You're getting maybe a studio or maybe a room. Unfortunately. All right. Let me start from the beginning. So Angel confronts Giselle. She's like, okay, let's put this all out there. What are you talking about? What more information do you have on this eviction? So that's when Wendy chimes in. And she says, a friend of mine, a real estate agent, told her that that you wanted a property that looks like. Here's the thing. Wendy said that you wanted a property that looks like $14,000, but you're only willing or able. So you have to pay attention to what Wendy says, because it is kind of insulting that you were only willing or able, meaning that she's a broke, you know what. Willing or able to pay $1,000 a month for it. Wendy, you could tell Wendy was regretful in bringing this information, because literally, just in the car, going to this rental that they were going to stay at, this Airbnb, you could tell already that Angel was already setting Wendy up for, like, I want us to work on things. I actually really like you. I want us to start in a better place. So she did not want to bring this story, because now you've given me a nice room. You're being really nice to me. It was it was sort of like, you could tell in that moment that Wendy's like, I don't really want to say that she's being nice to me now. She's being nice. So I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this because I know I have a job to do. Okay? So Wendy says that, and she says that you weren't able or willing to pay the $1,000 a month. That you were only able to pay the $1,000 a month. We've already talked about this countless times, but I'll mention it every single week, based off of me being a sportsnista. Lies, the lie. Shut up, Candy. Me being a sportsnista, we found out that Bobby in his career at least made $38 million in his football career. Did he take all that home? More than likely not. He has agents, he has things and whatnot. But that means he's definitely a millionaire. They have this beautiful home in Colorado. All right. We see what they're doing here. Okay. They're trying to make it seem like, okay, she got evicted. She ain't got the money. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's not landing for me. And based on what we've seen this season with how they've treated Stacey, and Stacey, I'm looking at you with the side eye because they're treating Angel the way that they've been treating you this entire season. I feel we need to be consistent. Jay says Candy's right on this one. Don't make me laugh, okay? Yes, Angel says KSPN with the T. All right. Receipts proof timelines. Thank you for being a member. Says can tell us a whole lot, but the sports, I just told you that's a fact. That is a fact. I just told you the sports right there. Okay? The fact is that Bobby made nearly $40 million in his NFL career. Just saying. Unless he tricked out all that money, I don't see him tricking out that money, though. He doesn't even seem like the type. But anyway, I'm not here to defend Angel and Bobby. Okay. All right. So Angel laughs at this. She's like, oh my God, are you serious? She's like, my rich ass. That's what she says. She says, my rich ass. She says, I've spent $14,000 a month. I believe her. I think she was just laughing at this. She was like, you thought that I was only able or willing to pay $1,000 a month? And that place that you saw us staying, you thought I was paying $1,000 a month for that? I was paying $14,000. She said, my rich ass was paying $14,000 a month for this property. Tia says, this has to be an awful realtor. Who is revealing this type of information to strangers? Because it looks really bad. And Wendy's like, well, no, she is a really good realtor. Not that she's sharing this information with you. And based on the after show, and also in the confessional, Wendy says that this information, in the after show, she shares that this information was shared with her before Angel was even on the show. And she said that's why she believes the information. And in her confessional, Wendy says that that's not the only thing that she's heard. It's not the first time she's heard that. So now Wendy is making it seem like multiple people have told her the same thing about Angel. I need you to tell me more. And it should come up at the reunion. What other things have you heard, Wendy, in regards to Angel and her trying to seek property? If she's trying to seek a deal for property, I'm not going to be mad at that. But to lowball a property, that's something else. I just don't see her wanting first of all, they said $50,000 property. It has to look like a $50,000 property, but I'm only willing to pay a certain amount. Here's the thing. I would feel the same way. However, to say I'm going to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for a property that looks like $50,000, I want my property to look like a $50,000 property, but do I want to pay that a month? No. I don't want to pay that a month. When y'all walk through my little hall here, I have like a little gallery. I want you to feel like it's a $50,000 a month property, but it's not. We all try to make our space, especially if it's going to be filmed. If it's going to be filmed, I even more want the property to look like it's luxurious. I want y'all to be like, yeah, Kempire is doing it. But don't ask me for a loan. Okay. But that's also when I'm live on TikTok and things like that, and all of you are like, give us a tour of your apartment. No, mind your business. Mind your business, because some of y'all be like, oh, look at that. Oh, he's got that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That's why y'all get to see very little, very little of what I got going on. But that's me. I know everyone is different, and some of you really do love seeing somehow how people live and think, and I do too. That's why I love watching her Homeworthy, Angel's Homeworthy. But I can understand wanting your place to, especially if it's being filmed, to look like it's $100,000 property. But am I willing to pay that? No. She grew up. She didn't probably, I don't know how she grew up, but not all of us grew up with, a silver spoon. Okay. So we still got a little bit of that in our brain, and we're like, but I don't want to pay $50,000 a month. If you can give me a property that looks like it, Jess says, come on, show us. No. Okay. Okay. So Mr. Melon Magic says, I am counting money. I ain't gonna lie. See? Exactly. Kara says, yes, monitoring spirits. I have a lot more to say about that, but we will move on. So Tia chimes in on this. Wendy claims that the agent isn't the only person who said this about Angel. She's going to have to bring those receipts, okay? Angel says that the agent might be upset she wasn't able to find them a property, and that's why she was talking the way that she was talking to Wendy. And so Tia's just like, oh, so you know who this person is? And she's like, yo, I definitely know who this person is. So Stacy chimes in and says, Angel, why don't you call her? So Angel's like, no, I don't. I don't blame Angel for not wanting to call this person. Why am I calling you to prove anything to you guys? Why am I calling you to prove anything to you guys? So Wendy brings up, it's like, oh, now you want to call people, Stacy? When we were telling you to call TJ, you didn't want to call TJ. Stacey says in her confessional, well, personal relationships and business are two different things. Understandable. But I am not calling anyone or anything to prove anything to this group. When y'all come to my house and my 36 acres, okay, then you will see I don't need to lie about how much money I got. You will see. I am going to prove something to you guys. I've already told you I wasn't evicted. I don't know what Wendy's talking about. I don't blame her. Why do I got to call anybody? Why do I call anybody? Anyway, I got a little bit of this weather change in New York where it was like warm a little bit and then cold, and now it was moving stuff yesterday. I was like, so I'm a little, I got a little bit of something. All right. So Angel said she's not going to call. Wendy brings up, like, Stacey, now you want to call somebody? You don't want to call TJ. Giselle asked Stacey as they're getting ready to go do their mindfulness moment. Giselle looks over to Stacey and she's like, oh, so how is TJ? Stacey's just like, I don't know. She's like, I know how Timo is. So Stacey's basically saying, I don't know that man anymore. I am now working things out with my man. I can completely understand why Stacey would not have any communication with TJ if you had a relationship with that man and now you're trying to work on your relationship with your ex-husband. I understand. Okay. Moving on. So Stacey says she knows how Timo's doing. They go outside to do a mindfulness moment. So everyone goes on the yoga mats. Angel does not go on the yoga mat. She just sits on one of the things. Okay. So Wendy wants to know how many times they're going to do a mindfulness moment. Well, now more than ever, Wendy, a mindfulness moment is probably needed in your life. I'm just saying, can we call a thing a thing? Okay. Foxy says that was the gig. The gig is up for was up for TJ. All right. And she also wants to know why Angel's not sitting on the floor with the group. I don't think there was enough room on that porch or deck for everyone to sit out there. It already looked a little tight, but okay. Stacey says, you know what? I would rather do champagne than yoga, and that's coming from me. As I know that sounds terrible as a yogi, but she's on a girls trip, so they all had a different perspective in their head on what they wanted for this girls trip. They just want to drink, have fun. That's it. They don't really want a mindfulness moment. But I'm not surprised that Angel is doing this. Her whole business is doing stuff like this. So to me, it makes complete sense. And if you guys were getting to know her already, you were hosted by her at her Airbnb before, and she did this, I don't know why you would expect anything less. Not D the Stallion says, how much is TJ's rate? I need a rent-a-man. Okay. Y'all are disrespectful. Okay. Kiarna starts crying. Here's the thing. Some of them were trying to make it seem, Wendy kept on looking at Kiarna with like the stank face. Like, what is wrong with you? Here's the thing. Kiarna was drinking and she took that medication. So Kiarna was drunk and high. Based on what we saw, I think Kiarna took that shot thinking like, despite the warnings that she received from her friend Angel, like one drink, it's going to be like two in Colorado. So she took that shot and was just like, she looks like she's a happy drunk. This was the best that I've seen Kiarna this entire time. Like she was light and funny, like the little giggles that she was in. This is her drunk. She was drunk. I don't think she was on anything. Excuse me, y'all. I don't think she was on anything. But I was like, okay, like this is cute and fun. And then reacting to her made it even funnier. Exactly. Lene View says a quieter special K. I like this K. Way of Keith says that K was crossfaded. She was high and drunk. She already told you. She got up and she was like, whoop. She felt it. And randomly she's crying. If this is how she acts when she's drunk, I prefer this because the way she turns up when she's not, you just never know. Some people are angry drunks. At least she was a light, funny drunk and an emotional drunk. I was happy for that. Okay? Sidebar, during the after show, they talk about how Kiarna, the reason why they thought something else was going on with Kiarna was because Kiarna was still talking about getting engaged. Jazzy's the one who brought that up. Did you guys see that? So despite what she's trying to downplay to the world now about, her and Greg have decided that that's not the route that they're going right now. They're both on the same page. They're happy in their relationship. Jazzy spilled tea, basically that Kiarna was still talking about, I'm about to get engaged. So they were all thinking these emotions were that. Okay? So I'm like, damn. Poor thing. Oh, she still thought she was getting engaged. Hey, Chef Lorraine, thank you so much for being a member. You're celebrating 26 months of membership. She says, Kay needs to be drunk all the time, joke. I mean, I think it's a combination of the elevation, the altitude, and the pills that she took, and the drink. Okay. Okay. What? Hey, Bernadette. Bernadette said, wait, Kempire, I'm sorry to even ask you, but what is the little heater in the bag? What heater? That's not a heater. It looks like, no, that's not a heater. I need a heater. What is the heater? What you talking about that? No, that's a little screen. That's not a heater. No, I do have a heater somewhere though. That's not a heater. But okay. All right, guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't forget, you can also hear our Real Housewives of Potomac and other recaps available on the Kempire podcast. We also just dropped a new Club Kempire review of Members Only Palm Beach. So if you wanted to hear my thoughts on the later episodes 5 through 8, I just dropped that yesterday. So be sure to check that out. That is a paid podcast episode on Apple Podcasts. You can hear it via the app or you can hear it via the website if you don't have an Apple device. Okay? All right. And let me say thank you so much, Katie. Thank you so much for the super chat. Katie says, T on the reunion. Brooke says Angel did great. I haven't heard anything yet in regards to it, but I also haven't asked. So we shall see. Noda Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. Noda Queen says Reddit found Angel's home on Airbnb, $17,000 a month for 6 months right now. So I believed her. And that's why I always say you can't be stands for people. You have to take these episodes by episodes. Because I know we were very critical of Angel in the early parts of the season. Rightfully so. But I believe that space that she was not paying $1,000 a month. Noda Queen says Reddit found Angel's home on. What you mean? You mean the Airbnb home on Airbnb? $17,000 a month for 6 months right now. Okay, so I believe that. And now hopefully she brought the receipts at the reunion. Demi, thank you so much for the super chat. Demi says that Angel wasn't my favorite, but this episode has redeemed her entirely. Monique, your commentary on her husband was misguided at best. Kindly cease. Oh! Demi says kindly cease. That was a nice, grown-up, shady read. I had to read it again. Hold on. She says, Angel wasn't my favorite, but this episode had redeemed her entirely. I don't know if it's redeemed her entirely. It's definitely redeemed her, but entirely, I don't know if I want to go that far. Monique, your commentary on her husband was misguided at best. Kindly cease. She read her down. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chats. All right. Exactly. RC says there's no way that huge home that they had was $1,000 per month. No. And I feel like some of these people that talk to the housewives, because I get people in my DMs all the time wanting to spread information about housewives. I don't run with a lot of it. I get so much information like, guess what I heard? Da, 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 da. And 9 times out of 10, these people are just mad or they just want to spread misinformation. So I just don't run with that. I'm like, unless you can bring me actual receipts of something, then I'm not running with it. All right, we will get to the Monique of it all, guys. We have 1,600 of you watching just on the YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, okay? We could definitely be at higher likes. So don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitch, keep sharing. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitch because, we stream in 4K. So how do I look? 4K and the audio is fantastic on Twitch. Twitch.tv/TheKempire, okay? Okay. Let's get back to this. So they do the mindfulness moment. They're doing the jazz hands, okay? Kiarna's crying. The ladies state their intentions for the weekend. Angel says she wants to get to know the group better, so they flash back to all the times that she said that she wants to get to know the group better, okay? Stacy says she's tired of the fighting. She just wants to have a good time. Giselle says she wants a room with a bathroom. So if anything, Giselle, I know you tried to downplay Angel putting you in that single bedroom, the twin bedroom. So apparently it did work because you, ever since that moment, you were tore up from the floor up. You were mad about that. So it worked. It worked. Again, this is why Stacey was such a top-tier housewife last season. When you guys tried to haze her and put her in that terrible room with Kiarna, she's like, oh my God, I always wanted to sleep in a bunk bed. And she was done with it. You have been miserable since she showed you the room. One thing we forgot to talk about because I missed it, but when you replay that moment when they show Giselle and Ashley their room, Monique fell on the floor laughing. And every time I watch it now, I'm like, that makes it even more hilarious. So when Monique hears Giselle say this at the mindfulness moment, okay, Angel says, you look way better on Twitch. The chat just isn't as active. Well, I need y'all to go in the chat over there on Twitch, y'all. Okay. Anyway, so when Giselle says she wants a room with a bathroom, Monique falls out again. Monique falls out again laughing at this. She just finds it so hilarious. But Monique is the one who ends up staying in that room. She decides. She said she just prefers the view in that room. I wouldn't care. Half the time you are out and about. You're not in your room. Who cares? But this is what the ladies do. Okay, LH Nell says Jizzy was so hot. She was, and she was making it even better for Angel. Angel got her good with that one. So she says she wants a room in the bathroom. Giselle says she doesn't want a single bed. She starts contemplating whether or not she should stay at another hotel. And she complains that she did a better job when she did Neva's. Yeah, you did. But are you the one who actually booked this particular villa? No, you're not. Yes, they plan the activities. They're very much involved with production and things like that. We see Monique break the fourth wall talking about that during this episode. She talks about it a little bit more during the after show. But let's keep in mind, production is the one really planning these events, especially this Nevis trip. Do I think that Giselle was the one who actually booked all this stuff and paid for all this stuff? No. Okay. Monique questions Angel on why Giselle can't stay at Angel's house, because Angel starts talking about she's going to go back to the house and things like that, and she has 6 bedrooms there, and she was like, oh, but if you have 6 bedrooms, why can't more people stay at your place? And she was like, well, Bobby has his man cave room and things. Well, here, let me explain it for some of you. He has his man cave room. His man cave room is not set up to host anyone. His man cave room doesn't have a whole other bed in it. I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming if it's a man cave, it's set up as a man cave. Okay? And would I want to put Giselle, who's been hating on my wife this entire time, or trust her in my man cave? No. I wouldn't trust these women in my own home. Anyone else? The more I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't blame her for hosting only a certain amount of people. Because I already don't like a lot of people. I already don't like a lot of people in my house. I don't know how some of y'all host tons of people in your homes. But I kind of, that's just me. I'm not doing it. I much rather do what Jennifer Tilly does on Beverly Hills. Have a whole separate party house. I might have to make some money to be able to do that. Or just not host anyone. But Angel, you're not off the hook. We will get to that. But I don't blame her for, okay, guys, I have 6 rooms, but not all those rooms are set up for hosting people. Some of those rooms probably don't have beds. So it's not going to be conducive to host you. I have 2 guest rooms, and usually probably those guest rooms are hosted for her in-laws or her own family when they come. Exactly. Jennifer says definitely wouldn't want Ashley of all people. And I hope at this reunion, Angel, you brought that crystal back and gave it to Ashley. Very much like the bunny situation. Have your bunny situation moment. I was like, I brought this crystal back because it's your bad juju's all over it. Take it. It was a beautiful crystal though, Ashley. It was very good. It was a very nice crystal. But I wouldn't want that in my house. To be honest, I'm not just taking crystals from anybody. Yes, you can cleanse them in the moonlight. You can get some sage and cleanse them. I don't care. I'll go get my own crystal. Okay. Patricia said, why not host in Aspen? You did find out in this week's episode that they're going to Aspen. They're going to go Kimosabe, which we've seen multiple times on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But I don't know. I do have some critiques in regards to how Angel hosted this trip. We will get to that in a second, though. So Monique questions Angel and like, well, why can't Giselle stay in that room? And she's like, well, no. So Jazzy asks, when did Angel and Tia get so close? Because they find out that Tia is going to stay at Angel's home. So Jazzy's like, when did you and Tia get so close? When did that happen? So Jazzy says Tia is trying to get her first. Well, Jazzy says that Tia is trying to get her first real estate sale. The shade. Are you trying to say that Tia doesn't sell properties? So that's why she's been so friendly to Angel. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I agree. Public Good Project says an hour away is kind of crazy. And we talked about that last week. I see that's where Angel kind of lost me. And she explains it as it was high season in Colorado. It was hard to find an Airbnb. It's already hard to probably find an Airbnb that's going to accommodate filming, to accommodate everyone and the amount of people, because this is a pretty large group. Okay, so there are things, if we realistically look at what we're looking at, this is why we should give Angel some grace, is that there's a lot of things that are happening here. We're filming a reality show. That means they're going to be bringing in lights, camera, action. That can do a number. And some of these Airbnbs are going to be like, no, you're not filming in my Airbnb. So maybe that was the only one that they could actually get available. That would be willing. But if anyone they should be blaming, I don't know if they should be blaming Angel. Angel should be upset though, because you are running a business about hosting people, and now this reality show is making it seem like you don't know what you're doing. Just saying. Okay. So Angel says that the realtor they're in the car and they're heading to her property, which is an hour away. Well, according to Giselle, it's an hour and a half, but Giselle likes to put a lot of sauce on stuff, so I'm going to just say it's an hour away. But either way, an hour away is you have to think about, again, this is not just a girl's trip and you're on vacation. You're an hour away. You're filming, you just travel. You're never really on break when you're on these trips with the housewives. So it's already compounded with a lot of stuff. So now we got to get in the car and head to Angel's house. The other ladies have to get ready and then head to Angel's house. We find out that the water situation over at the Airbnb is not working. They got to go down to the basement or outside. Okay. You got to go outside to flick something on to get the water going again. It was a mess. It was definitely a mess. So there's a lot of frustration around that. And now they're getting ready. They're already frustrated. There's an odor. So there's a lot of other elements that if you're not paying attention, okay. So now we have to get ready. We have to go to your house more than an hour away. And then we're going to eat dinner, and then we're frigid because we found that out too when they were outside, because look, it's also Colorado. They're outside, the sun's going down, now we're cold, which is not unusual. We've been on other trips where, yes, the conditions and things like that change. Maybe in her head, she was originally thinking, okay, we're going to be outside, it's going to be beautiful outside. Maybe should have decided to bring it back inside. But again, with that amount of ladies, could she have hosted inside? I just feel like with that level of a property, I mean, did she get that table specifically to host the ladies? Because I know she has that table in the kitchen, but does she? No, she does have a dining area. Because I saw her homeworthy. Because for those that didn't see it, she does have a dining area. I would have changed plans. I'd be like, we need to change plans and move it inside. But maybe, again, we're filming a reality show. Maybe she did not want to film it inside. I don't know. But Angel's not looking good, girl. It's not looking good. All right. So Angel says that the realtor was very unprofessional. She's talking with Kay and Tia in the car. She says it's very unprofessional for her to be talking like that. Wendy says that she isn't calling. She isn't going to call the realtor. Monique says, if it was her, she would have called the lady right there. Okay. Giselle says you wouldn't be so defensive about the word eviction if you weren't evicted. No, that's not true. See, this is why I get so annoyed with people like with Ashley and Giselle, because they're so dead set on not liking someone. And when they're dead set on not liking someone, they will find every excuse not to like them. If someone was talking about you being evicted, you would not like that, because the connotation is that you don't have the funds, that you didn't pay for something. And honestly, we don't like that when other people assume that about us as Black people, kind of putting that out there like, oh, you didn't pay your stuff. So I just don't like the fact that we're trying to do that to Angel. Like her husband did not make nearly $40 million in his NFL career. Now, some of y'all, I could believe could get evicted. Like Wendy, with everything that you're going through right now and those legal bills, are you going to be able to pay your mortgage? Just come on. Let's be honest. All right. Did you guys see what Angel had to say when she was asked about how did you feel when Wendy was arrested? Why was she smiling the entire time? She's like, I don't take pleasure in anyone getting into a situation like that, but I'm looking forward to her day in court. I was just like, we could put on more of a, solemn, demure face. But okay. Chastity, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Chastity says, hey Kemp, fellow Taurus here. My opinion of Angel has changed. The interviews she's done gave a lot of clarity. I still wouldn't want her to come back. Damn. To come back. These women haters. Angel, run. You don't need the show. honestly, especially the connotations about my marriage, I would not want that. Again, I wouldn't do a reality television show. I especially as a Taurus, and you can relate to this, Chastity. If I love you, you're my partner. I'm going to protect you at all costs. I'm not going to put you out here on reality television so these hateful people can try and make it seem like we have some sort of toxic relationship and they're projecting onto my relationship. That's where those cameras would be down and it would be bravo effing bravo. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Not with my man. Okay? Way of Keith, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Keith says, Angel is two-faced. Oh, damn. She told the ladies she has to ask her husband for permission, but when she spoke to him, she said she didn't want to be with him. She didn't want to be with them. She needs to lean into her real personality. We will get to that, Keith, because I do agree with that. But if you pay attention to her facial expressions to Bobby, this is very much like what we were talking with Stacey and Stacey being a partner with Timo. Timo doesn't want to be around this group. You know how partners are. If you go to an event, Keith, you got a man now too. You go to an event. You guys have eye signals. Time to go. Time to go. You guys communicate. And what I saw in that moment was her communicating with Bobby. I really don't. I would much rather be home here with my babies. And, you could see she was trying to send a signal. But Bobby's was like, but if you want to go, you can go. But they're in a relationship. I didn't see anything wrong with what Angel said. We will get to it in a second. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't realize I was got a little frog in my throat. All right. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, it was all tacky. Call a thing a thing. Angel could have had luxury heated tents on her property with beds, etc., with all that property. I didn't think about that. However, are you investing that amount of money? Are you investing that amount of money for these ladies? But also, no, we're not doing that. You remember what she said. There are snakes and stuff out there. Oh, hell no. I'm not staying out there. And then they would have complained. She got us out here and roughing it in tents. They would have said that too. So I don't blame her. No, we're not going to stay in nobody's tent. Okay? Maybe for the dinner she could have done that. But again, she has a whole dining room table. I don't know why we didn't just do it out there, inside there. But I think originally she's thinking it's going to be hot. We can be outside, blah, blah, blah. And then she didn't think to herself like, again, Angel, this is why I'm going to be a little critical of you, is that if you're someone that's doing Wonderland luxury excursions, these are things that you need to think about. I've been on a luxury excursion before, and I'm very I go with the flow. I'm not going to complain. I've been with older folks, and you're probably going to get older folks on these luxury excursions. They're going to be complaining all the time. If you think these ladies were bad, people that are paying their good money are going to be worse. No. You need to think quick. Be like, okay, it's getting cold out here, guys. We're going to go inside. I'm going to have my people get that table together, and we're going to go inside. Just saying. KK Scorpio, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, I agree. Angel is where they want to be. Ooh. He saw what Bobby had to say. Bobby's energy on Watch What Happens Live last night was interesting. It made me uncomfortable because you could tell he did not want to be there. But he did call out the ladies. He's just like, these ladies are just mad that she's living the life that they want. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. No to Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. No to Queen says Ashley couldn't get evicted from under a bridge. Well, damn. Y'all always want to bring that up. Chastity, thank you so much for another super chat. Chastity says, exactly. I've been happily married 20 years, heavy on happy. Oh! Excuse me. And she says, you can't play with me on no day about my man. Angel needs to exit stage left. See? When you find your person, especially as a Taurus, because, we talk astrological signs, and I'm sure some of you other astrological signs are the same, or just women that are the same, or men that are just the same. Yeah, you're not playing about my man. Especially my billionaire. Y'all think y'all gonna play in my face about my billionaire? This is why I wouldn't put my billionaire out to the world. Some people are gonna come here like, your billionaire? Kempire's dating a billionaire? Yeah, start that rumor. Start that rumor. He's dating a billionaire? All right. This home? See, that's when I would host people here. I would host people here because this would be the play apartment. This is where I bring the guests. This is where I have the parties. But where I rest my head is with the billionaire at the estate. Yes, very much like what Stacey was giving. She had the apartment in D.C., but she had the home out there in, Virginia? That's how I would do it. Y'all not going to come up in my home because then, at least with the apartment, I can fix the juju of that. Classy, thank you so much for the super chat. Classy says, Tia and Angel bond over needing a bag because she didn't read the rules. Oh. Okay, they're coming for you, Tia. Sass Experience, thank you so much for the super chat. Sass says, the trip was challenged, but these are the same heifers. Took a bus to play chicken. Y'all are never going to let go of that Austin trip. You're right. Bingo. Chicken-ish bingo. So, and lay off Bobby. He knows this show ain't it. You know, we love us some Bobby over here. Okay? Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. Katie, another super chat. Katie says, Kay's not back next season. Who'll Angel cling to? Yeah, and I just feel like they come as a package deal. I honestly do not want to see Kay come back next season, but that's me. That's okay. All right, let me get back to this, gal. Thank you so much for the super chat. See my voice. I sound like a Okay. Willie says, don't come back, Angel. Not a good fit. But also, if you don't want them talking about your relationship, I wouldn't come back. Honestly, I would live my life, my best life, happy life, off of this show. But we also have to remember where Angel comes from. Angel used to be a producer with BET. She was a red carpet talent. So I think there's always going to be a part of Angel that wants to be in the spotlight. I don't think she just wants to be the doting wife and he's the star. I think there's also an element of Angel that wants to be out in the spotlight. She wants to make a name for herself. And I can't be mad at that. She wants to have her own as well. I can't be mad at that. I always tell all of y'all to have your own and have your FU fund. I'm not saying... did she come on here for a divorce? No, I'm not saying that. I don't get that vibe. But she wants to have her own, which is smart. Because when anything happens in life, and anything can happen in life, it could be 10, 20 years from now, at least she'll have her own. Okay? All right. And she has this new business, Wonderland, excursion. So she wants to use this platform to promote that. I don't feel like this is doing a good job of it because, again, Angel, you don't have control on how they want to paint you on this show. Some of these people come on the show thinking they're smarter than the program, and then they realize, oh, damn, I'm not. So I'm glad she's doing these interviews to kind of clear up some of the stuff, and I do think that she is clearing up some of the stuff. But, yeah, but that's me. Okay. Okay, Jade says, imagine taking advice on how to deal with your husband from some birds. That part. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. We will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern, recapping Married to Medicine. So make sure you guys have set your reminders for that. Today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Wix. It's a new year, and I bet you have new ideas or a new plan or new goals for yourself. Well, Wix.com has got you covered when it comes to your website. Years ago, one of my very first websites was built by Wix.com. And even back then, I was like, they make it so easy to build your own website. Because I can tell you this already, I've paid lots of money before to have my website built by other people. Wix makes it easy for you, the everyday person that doesn't really understand how building a website happens. Wix makes it so easy, especially with some of their AI tools. So when I started my podcast and YouTube channel, I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all. Back then, we didn't have AI. It was just me, myself, and I doing every single thing. If I could go back in time, if I was starting my business today, I use Wix. There's so many really cool options that Wix has now available to you. You can create a website your way, whether you want to have AI to jump in or you prefer to do it yourself. Use the AI when you want or how you want. You can customize any detail with the most flexible website editor out there. Rest easy knowing that your Wix site is backed by 99.99 uptime and enterprise-grade security. No add-ons required. Built so that you can own your individuality, create freely, and scale fearlessly. As I mentioned before, they have really cool AI capabilities. Wix is packed with some of the coolest, most useful AI features and agents built specifically for SMB so that you can grow your business without burning out. And that is a powerful statement. Generate unlimited images, website sections, product descriptions, and more. Automate email marketing, SEO tasks, inventory management, and more. Enjoy easy, fuss-free domain registration, web hosting also included. Powered by 280 plus million businesses around the world. They're not new to this. They're true to this. Start delivering AI solutions way before it was cool. Wix has been pioneering in website tech for almost 20 years. Sign up for free at Wix.com. That's Wix.com. Head on over to the description for more details. And shout out to Wix. More information on Wix will be available in the description. Shout out to them for sponsoring today's Real Housewives of Potomac recap. All right, so back to this. Thank you guys for all of the super chats. I will get to them in just a second. I do want to just kind of get through some of my notes in regards to this week's episode. So Angel's on her way back with Tia and Kay to her property. And Giselle says that that Angel wouldn't be so defensive if she wasn't evicted, whatever. Angel says that Giselle thought that she had a gotcha moment and she ended up looking stupid. She did. I mean, for the most part. I feel like that's the theme of this season. Between Ashley and Giselle, they both end up looking stupid. They've been coming for Stacey, trying to get Stacey in something, and it keeps falling flat. Angel says that their issues with her is based off of jealousy. Monique, back at the ranch, she thought that everyone was staying at Angel's house. And look, Monique is entitled to that because they flash back to that scene where it does seem like they're going to be staying at her house. So Angel might be in the wrong here in regards to that. She might have made it seem to them that they were going to stay in her house. I don't blame her for not keeping Ashley and Giselle at her house. But also, I can't imagine, especially the way that these girls' trips, especially with Ashley, they start turning lesbianic. She's got her kids at this house. She's got her husband at this house. Y'all not going to be turning up in the middle of the night at my home. I thought of that as I'm watching. I'm like, I'm understanding now why she wouldn't want them at her house. Should she be with them? I think she should be with them. You know what I mean? And maybe go back, to be with Bobby when necessary. But I definitely think that she should be with them. But at my house, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. So Wendy says the best moments that they have during these girls' trips are at night, where they kind of come together in the kitchen and they're laughing and things like that. And then, Ashley turns into a full-on lesbian and blah, blah. I'm just saying, it feels like that's what always happens with Potomac. They start showing each other there for JJs and all kinds of stuff. You're not doing that in my home. Okay? You're not doing that in my house. Okay? No, we're not doing that where Cushing and Gaia are running around. Okay? And my husband. You're definitely not around my husband. Definitely not around my husband. Y'all not running around. Okay? Like that. I already don't like the way some of y'all were dressed coming to my home. Okay? Some of y'all were showing a little too much breast for my liking. Okay? Not around my husband. Okay? But that's me. Not around my husband. Okay? Just saying. All right, let's maybe focus. All right. So Angel brings Kay and Tia to her home. So we get to see her home, big, huge property, 36 acres, and you get to see a little bit of the home. So when she brings them in, first of all, Bobby comes out to put a coat over Angel's head, and at first I was like, that's really sweet, but then I thought he was gonna come back and get the other ladies. We know Bobby don't play about Angel, but here's my thing. Mill says Kemp don't play about Bobby. But here's the thing. Bobby, I was a little concerned that you didn't come out with umbrellas for the other ladies. I can understand, you're doing for your lady. I don't know if he said to them, I don't think he did. I would have said to them, ladies, hold on one second. I'll come and get you in a second. He just came, got his wife, and left them out there to fend for themselves. I was like, is he not coming back for us? I want Bobby to shield me from the rain. Look, Bobby, come shield me from the rain. He don't play about Angel, but damn, my girls, Kiarna and Tia, they're our guests tonight. Like, you're not gonna come bring us an umbrella or put a jacket over our heads? Look, we got hair too that can get messed up. Jade says Kempire's still waiting for Bobby in the car. The way I would have sat there with my arms folded, I hope Bobby coming to get me because my hair too. Look, no hair. Bobby, I was been screaming, Bobby, from the car. Bobby, are you gonna come get me? That was the only critique. Because at first I was like, look at Bobby getting his lady. And then all of a sudden Tia gets out the car. They're getting their hair wet. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Bobby, come get me too. Ashley says, can I get a poncho? Oh my gosh. Like, come on. Scorpio Boot says, still waiting. I've been like this in the outfit in the back of the SUV like the, are y'all coming? Just say, I'm assuming they didn't have umbrellas because he didn't come outside with an umbrella. But come on. I would have been in that car. Like, is Bobby gonna come get me? Is Bobby gonna come get me? Just asking. Shoot, the way how big Bobby is, Bobby could carry me inside. No disrespect, Angel. I am not Ashley. Okay, but Bobby, come carry me in. Okay, I would have just taken Bobby, just getting me the. Okay, Bobby ain't gonna do that for me, but for the ladies, come on, Bobby. Come on. Damn, Gadget Girl says Bobby doesn't like any of the ladies, not even Kay. I don't believe that. I just feel like, Bobby, I'm still waiting in the. I would have still waited in the car. You right, Scorpio Moon. I would have been still in the car. Where's Bobby? Bobby. Oh my gosh, I would still be in the car. Okay. Guys, if you haven't already, keep liking the video. How many people we got in the building? We got almost 2,200 of you here, and we're not 1,000 likes. What's going on, people? Are you just watching from outside the club? Are you hating from outside the club? All right. Mr. Bellbash says, Afterpay Kemp coming for your man. Just saying. All right. Okay, K-Baby says Bobby was trying to look for any... what? He wasn't trying to look for any umbrellas, K-Baby? That's what you meant? Laura says, is Bobby coming? Right, Keisha says, a plastic grocery bag or something. I don't know. I just feel like something. We could have done just a little something. At first, I was like, oh, look at Bobby taking care of taking care of Angel. And then I'm thinking to myself, but the other ladies get out the car and they're like, what about me? What about me? But okay, fine. So Angel gives Kiarna and Tia the tour of the home, and she shows them where they're going to be staying. Beautiful rooms. These rooms are better than what the other ladies are dealing with. Beautiful. It's a beautiful home. If you haven't seen their Homeworthy, you get to see a full tour of Angel's home and all the details that she put into the home. And apparently her friend who also helped her design this home was there as well. I loved it. Did Angel do one for Entertainment Tonight or for Bravo's YouTube channel, like a tour of her home? She should. I'm surprised they haven't. Like, they should have did it while they were there in Colorado. It's a beautiful home. She did reveal on Watch What Happens Live, and I already heard in her interviews that she did close on a home in Maryland. I don't know if it's in Potomac. Did she say it was in Potomac? I'm assuming it's in Potomac. I mean, okay, good. Okay. PSM says, I enjoyed her home tour. Yeah, the Homeworthy one that she did is really good. It's like 40-something minutes. Or maybe like 50 minutes. Okay. Oh, lady says, Bobby said, F them birds. That's the energy he was definitely giving on Watch What Happens Live. I was actually taken aback by his energy. But again, maybe he didn't think that he was going to be on television at Watch What Happens Live. Because when you sit in the audience, you don't, especially if you don't watch the show, maybe he didn't realize that they were going to go to him. It's like, hey, Bobby. And Bobby's just like looking down. But he could also be very, look, Bobby could be very shy. Okay. Danielle says, she said a new home in Potomac. Okay. But do we know it for sure? Because, some people, claim they live in the Potomac and they do not. I will wait to see what Karen Huger has to say about where she lives in Potomac. Is it Potomac proper? Just asking. Okay, let me move on, y'all. All right, so the house looks even better than the other house that the other ladies are staying in. Because didn't y'all know, when they were giving the tour of the home, I was like, yeah, it's a big place for where they were staying. I'm talking about where the other ladies are staying, not Angel's home. I was like, it looks a little dated. It looks like a cabin, which again, depending, maybe that's the aesthetic. But I think production had a hard time finding a space where they could film and be the proper amount of accommodations for everyone. Okay. All right, so Angel then is getting ready for her welcome mixer. So she's got all the things. She's got a violinist. She's got caterers there. She's got chefs, all kinds of things. She even has some of her friends there. We will get to that. So Monique says that they're in the car headed to, mind you, they just got to Colorado. Now they got to go on like an hour and a half drive to Angel's home. Just keep that in mind. So like I can understand them being upset and complaining and they're having issues at this cabin. I kind of understand some of their frustration, some of them. So Monique says in the car that Chris didn't want the divorce. She knows that for sure. Okay, so we're getting a little tea in regards to Monique and her relationship with Chris Samuels. Okay, so while they're in the car, Jazzy's like, let me check if there's any other Airbnbs in the area. And apparently she did end up finding some. But just because she found some on Airbnb doesn't mean that these particular owners would say yes to filming. They can't say that in these scenes, but just keep that in mind. Okay. So Monique breaks the fourth wall and she talks about what it takes to host a trip like this. She says that there are other stuff going on. She believes that there's other stuff going on with Angel. Because she's hosted 2 other trips when she was a full-time housewife on the show. So she talks a little bit about that experience. And she's like, yeah, the production helps you with some of the things, but not everything. And she makes sure that she's in line with production with some of the things that they have going on and what they're planning. They also feel as a group that Angel did not check in on them enough. And I have to agree with them with that, especially if you're going to be hosting this trip and the space is far away. I would have a group chat with the women, like checking on everyone. Is everything good? Let me know when you get back to the Airbnb. I do think that she should be more responsive. I'm not responsive because they never reached out to her. That's important to know too. However, I wouldn't be just texting Jazzy. I would be texting all of them. Okay. All right. So Monique says that she believes that there's other stuff going on with Angel. She says that she's been in her shoes before. So they replay when Angel talks about Bobby's man cave moment. And why Giselle couldn't stay in there. So they're trying to paint this narrative that the things that Monique went through with Chris Samuels is what Angel could be possibly going through. And in the after show, they doubled down on that. And Giselle says, yeah, I remember Monique and how Monique was. And she can see the similarities in Angel. Y'all are going to come across as bitter and hateful. But we already know that Giselle is bitter and hateful. And And it's so crazy that she has this level of energy for the women, and you see it if you pay attention. She has this level of energy for the women, and especially when she's coming into Angel's home and she's already coming in with an attitude. But you saw when she saw Bobby, she's like, "Hey, Bobby." The same when she was with Wendy, but she likes Eddie. She's very male centered in that regard, which is very interesting to me, and it's important for us to note it. Okay. But when she sees Bobby, she's like, "Hey, Bobby." I'm like, "Don't be saying hello to me when you're talking all kinds of ish to my wife." Okay. So they're talking about this because Monique is just like, "Oh, I can see some similarities." Jazzy says in her confessional, she says, "I don't think I would be comparing my ex-husband to a current husband." And I can appreciate about Jazzy. Jazzy will call a thing a thing. I don't feel like Jazzy is going to be leaning or shucking and jiving to be friends with either side. I think she just wants to come in and have her own mind, her own thoughts. That's why I like about Jazzy. And she's like, "I don't know if you want to be comparing your ex-husband to what's going on with her current husband." And maybe she has that perspective because she wouldn't want people to do that to her and her relationship. They've already done some of that with her relationship. However, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, Jazz. We're trying to like you. We're not going to go back. We're not going to revisit the Darius of it all. Okay. So, and Jazzy says that she wouldn't do that. Angel, back at the ranch, says she gives the group ends up arriving. So they're all coming in and they're like, "Oh, hey." And Angel's in a good space. But Angel's at home. She's with her friends. She's with her family. She's got her makeup done. She's ready to host the ladies. She's excited. Monique sees her. She's like, "Oh, I like this energy. Like the energy is different." She's like, "I like this." Ashley gifts Angel a crystal. The crystal was beautiful. Okay. So Ashley, when they first pull in, before they even see Angel, Ashley makes the comment. She's like, "You got all this land and not enough room for us." Stacy, and I think this joke was funny because of what they've been saying about Bobby. She says, she jokes in her confession. She's like, "Bobby probably wouldn't allow it." I thought that was funny. Ashley gives Angel this crystal, and Angel jokes and says, "Are you trying to make me love you?" Because she's like, she's very much a crystal person. And when you go and you get a tour of her home, when you watch the Homeworthy, you see she's very much a crystal person. Like when you go in her kitchen, that chandelier is all of selenite. I have selenite in here, but I don't want to move. I guess I'll move it. Hold on, y'all. I want to show y'all my selenite. For those that are listening to the podcast, this is why this is selenite. So she has a whole chandelier of this, but it doesn't look like the circle that I have right here. It's all like, how do I describe that shape? Like, but it's beautiful. To me, after I saw that, I was like, "Oh, when I build my next home, I'm going to get me a selenite chandelier." It's gorgeous. And can you imagine that selenite, for those that don't understand crystals, selenite is a cleansing crystal. It's a very powerful crystal. So what I have in front of me, I'll show y'all my crystals because I'm a crystal person. This is why I thought I would love Angel. Okay. I don't hate Angel either, though. Y'all know what I mean. All right. So I got some black tourmaline because, I got almost 3,000 of you watching me. So some of y'all are hate watching because if all 3,000 of y'all liked the video, we would be already at 1,000 likes. And then I have, what is this? The green opal. Green opal. There we go. Green opal. So I keep it on the selenite, okay? To block the bad juju that y'all be trying to send at me. I got some more over here too. Hold on. Imagine I fell out of the chair on live. Look at this crystal. Labradorite. Labradorite is my favorite crystal. Okay. See, Angel, I know you're watching, girl. We got a lot in common. Girl. All right. Enough of that. Enough of me showing off my crystals. I have a ton of crystals. I even got crystals in my pocket at the moment. Trying to block y'all nasty energy, okay? All right. All right. Moving on. All right. Let me get back to this. So everyone arrives. They're getting a mini tour. Based on the after show, they didn't get a full tour of the property. They just got to see the first floor. I don't blame Angel. You're not seeing my property. I'm not giving you a tour. If it was just certain people like Tia and Kay, those are the only people I'm giving a tour of my home. You guys have bad juju. And the fact that she's into crystals, I understand. She's not bringing you around her home so that you can be putting your bad energy like, with the stank face. Because they're already walking into the home with the stank face. Well, some of them. Look, some of them. All right. So she brings them around. She shows them all the accommodations that she's putting together for this mixer for them. Okay. Angel has the violinist. She even has a specialty mescal for Giselle. Because she's like, I know you love that. And Wendy's just like, see, she's doing all kinds of little special things for you. And Giselle is still sitting there with the sourpuss face on. Okay? Sourpuss face on. She's like, well, she needs to. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She doesn't need to do anything for you, Giselle. Because Giselle's walking around. We also have to remember Giselle comes from the space of being in a sorority. So some of her behavior kind of reminds me of that sorority behavior where she feels like she's big sister in charge. So it's very much sort of like that. And people often say Real Housewives is sort of a sorority. So she's walking around like, well, she needs to. No, she doesn't. She doesn't need to do anything for you. Okay? Okay. So Stacey says that Angel is showing more excitement for Giselle than her own husband. Damn. So Angel introduces the group to some of her friends. Here's the thing in regards to the we're watching an edited show, but based on what we saw, those friends didn't even move forward to get up. And it makes me wonder what Angel told the friends about the group before they got there. And maybe that's why they were acting that way. But even if you felt a way about this particular group of women, just as men, I would have gotten up, especially because you're in front of ladies, I would have gotten up and shook their hands. And I don't care what people want to say, oh, it's edited, maybe they did. No, she's talking and she's introducing them, and there isn't even a knee-jerk reaction. They're just sitting there like this, especially Ben. Ben's sitting there. I mean, I'm not so completely surprised. Ben's sitting there like smoking his cigar, just looking at them like, just giving them, just eyeing them up and down. Here's the thing, though. I thought maybe they brought some of those guys there, and I don't know if those guys were married or not. I know one of them was married. But I thought maybe on some level that Angel brought these guys to introduce them to maybe Giselle or to, who else is single there? Who else is single? Maybe Monique. So I thought maybe that's what we were getting. But already I would have been turned off as the women. I would have been turned off. Like, what's going on right now? Why are y'all looking at us like this? Why are you not getting up? Okay. Lene says Kay is single. Stop. Lene says Kay is single. I mean, you're single until you're married. So you're right. You're right in some vein, right? I don't know. Yeah, Penny Proud says billionaire Ben is a whole weirdo. Well, he's not a billionaire. He deals with billionaires. So maybe that's why he feels like he's the man. I don't know. It gave very weird energy. The ladies commented on it. They was like, okay, this is weird. Like, they didn't even get up. Get up. Ben was definitely giving, like, I don't think Ben, again, I don't want to assume. But my immediate reaction when I saw Ben, I was like, I think he's on my team, y'all. So maybe he wasn't there to be introduced to the women. But even as a gay man, you're being introduced to these people. I probably would have, even if I didn't get up, I probably would have gotten up. However, I would have at least been like, do what the married man did, give a wave. Like, hey, y'all, nice to meet y'all. You know, welcome. Have a good time. Stay a while. They just sitting there. Real stank face. Maybe because he thinks that he deals with billionaires. See, this is why certain people, you just, Just saying. Teresa said, not Kemp's team. Yeah, that's what I initially thought. But either way, even if you did toot toot from my team, I still would have had better manners. I'm like, hey, y'all. I would have spoke. None of them spoke. So the ladies felt it was weird how Angel was introducing them. And it was weird. I'm not going to lie to you. But then part of me thought, okay, maybe she's introducing them this way because she wants to hook some of the single ladies up with them. And I thought that's maybe why she was doing that. The ladies took it another way. They took it like she wants to make it seem like she has friends, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But okay, fine. So they go off to this table that's a few miles away. No, it's not a miles away. It's a few steps away. The ladies feel weird. Like, why are we being separated from the group? This is just weird. Okay. Angela says that your team usually has better manners anyway. Ooh. I didn't like that. I didn't like how they did that. I did not. Yeah, the one guy, the married guy is the one that waved hello. And that's why he's married. And the other men, I don't know what they are. It was weird. At least the first guy smiled at the ladies, but the Ben just sitting there smoking his cigar, looking at them judgingly like, okay, Ben. That's what it was giving. Just saying. Because Ben probably watches Real Housewives. Ben probably watches Real Housewives. He's like, I don't like these chicks. I'm sorry, Ben. You want to marry just my luxury, my billions? See, honestly, based off of this, if when I have my billionaire husband, I'd be like, no, we are not hiring Ben to manage our wealth. I don't like how he deals with people in general. This is why you got to be consistent with your behavior. And this is why I was looking at Bobby a little sideways. Like, I love how you treat your wife, but look how you treat her friends that are still waiting in the car. I'm still waiting in the car for Bobby. I'm still waiting in the car for Bobby. Just saying. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so Monique says that she likes this version of Angel. Giselle says that the earlier energy was whack. All right, so they're sitting down. Giselle says that Angel's energy was whack and that not that of a host. Okay. Giselle, I find it so interesting that your vocabulary seems so limited. She's like, I likes to read. I'm like, do you? Because sometimes your vocabulary just to me is like, this is whack. I'm like, and I use the word whack, but I'm just saying, like, we can't say more. Okay, look. JG says, as of January 11, 2026, Angel and her husband, Bobby Massey, have officially closed on a new home in Potomac, Maryland. I think they closed before January 11th, right? Or did they literally close on Sunday? No, they didn't close on a Sunday. Exactly. Leah says even a nod would suffice. They ain't got no home training, y'all. No home training. All right. So Giselle makes some complaints about the current house and asks why they couldn't find anything closer to her house. So Giselle is complaining, understandably, with some of the complaints, okay? She then brings up that why they couldn't find a place closer to Angel's house. Angel says that there was no availability. And then she doesn't want to hear that. Giselle does not want to hear that. Giselle says that also the water at the Airbnb is intermittent. And someone had to go outside to flip a switch in order for the water to work. I understand the frustration because this Airbnb that they're staying at sounds like it's a mess, which is not good for the people that are advertising this Airbnb. Okay? So Angel seems thoroughly concerned. Here's the thing, though, Angel. As someone that has a business doing this kind of stuff, this doesn't look good. In that moment, I would have been on my phone. Again, we're watching an edited show. Maybe she did. I don't think she did. I would have been like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Let me send a message to them right now to make sure that is handled. That would have been me. Because that's the inclination I had watching it. I would have been like this. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me text these people right now. But that's not what happened. She just was like, oh no. Hopefully she has better people that work for her that handle these things for Wonderland excursions. Okay. So Giselle brings up these issues, brings up the issues between Giselle. Okay, we move on from that, and Giselle decides to bring up because they're so self-producing this season. So she brings up the issues between Tia and Stacy. All right, so Stacy claims that Tia jumped on the Stacy hate train. Okay, Tia says that Stacy doesn't know who she is, and because that's what Stacy said about Tia. But Tia says, no, I don't think you know who you are. And she brings up Stacy claiming that she doesn't know Chris Samuels. Stacy never claimed that she didn't know Chris. They flash back to the moments where Tia asked her about Chris Samuels. At no point did Stacy say that she didn't know Chris. The level of friendship, maybe she varied on that, but based on what they've shown us, she's never claimed that she didn't know Chris. But according to Tia, you told me you're a liar. You told me that you do not know Chris Samuels. Stacy brings up a good point. Like, why are you concerned? Why are any issues that we have between us don't even really concern you? Exactly. Assets on Twitch says, Monique doesn't care. Move on. And literally in this moment, Monique is just like, she has vehemently told me that she had no part, that she did not bring this information to Chris. But this is where Monique reveals that because of what's been playing out, that Chris's attorneys are talking about defamation. They're talking about changing custody because of what is being said. So I understand why Monique would be like, wait a minute. But Stacey's like, but I wasn't the only one there. And when Stacey says that, I have to remind you guys, she's not just talking about the housewives and the cast. She's talking about there were other people there. Giselle's daughter was there. Ashley's friend was there. Kyle was there. So there were other people there. However, I still believe that it was either Kiarna that brought this information to Cookie, and Cookie put some sauce on it or lied. I don't know. But I honestly don't believe it was Stacey now. Just because of how they've moved this season when it comes to trying to get certain people to fall for their lies. Okay? All right. So Ashley claims that Stacey is getting caught in every lie, every which way. No, she isn't. Even her confessional comment about that, I was like, Ashley, no, you guys keep saying that she's lying, and I do believe that Stacey has lied. However, the lies that you guys keep saying that she's lied about keeps falling flat, and you guys keep getting proved wrong. But okay. All right, we shall see. What else did I want to mention from this moment? Oh, so Stacey and Tia get into it, and she doesn't understand why it matters to Tia, especially if it doesn't matter to Monique. Monique says that Stacey has vehemently denied this, as I mentioned before. So Angel then talks to the ladies about what they're going to be doing the next day. So they're going to take a private jet to Aspen, and they're going to Kimosabe. For those of you that have watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we've been to Kimosabe already as a group, right? We've already been there. We already know. And I didn't like the way that Angel described it. She's like, a lot of the celebrities go there. Well, Kimosabe is not just about the celebrities. Yes, a lot of celebrities go there, but it's so you can get like your own custom hat and things like that. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting. That's how she described it. So then the food looked good. I just want to say that. In the after show, they talked about how the food got cold. They talked about how they were cold. Just want to emphasize this. I did watch the after show. But the food, if it didn't get cold, it looked good regardless, right? I was like, the food looks yummy. They had the mac and cheese. They had salmon. They had steak. I was like, this food looks delicious. And she had a black chef. Okay? So they go by the fire because it was cold. So they're by the fire, which is nice. It didn't look that frigid, but I'm sure it was cold. So they go by the fire to have a kiki and talk about some stuff. So Kiarna suggests a pajama party. Okay, so that everyone goes to the house and everyone stays there to have a good time. Angel says that she needs to touch base with Bobby because she wasn't prepared to be spending the night over there. So she needs to touch base with him about the kids. I have to say something because they start to spin it because Monique then says to her, "He'll be okay." I didn't like how she was trying to flip this. He'll be okay. That's just daddy duties. This is not, And I'm thinking to myself, I understand completely where Angel's coming from with this. She needs to check with her partner about coverage for the children. Every time that we see Angel at home with her family, I'm always seeing Bobby running after these kids. I can't even recall a moment where I see Angel running after these kids. And I'm not saying anything horrible. I'm sure she does. But every time we see them at home, I'm seeing Bobby running after these kids. Anyone else? So I'm sort of like, Bobby, I understand as a partner, I'm going to check with my partner because now he's going to have to take care of the kids on his own because remember when they were Potomac, Bobby's mother was there helping. So maybe they don't have that help in Colorado. So she needs to check with her husband about okay, now they're asking me to stay there. I also don't think she wants to stay there. Y'all don't have running water. I want to be in my home. I do not blame her for not wanting to be with them. And she's like, I need to check with Bobby. And Monique said, that's daddy duties. That's whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Angel raises her hand and it's just like, hold on. I don't blame her. Don't talk to me about my husband or my conversations with my husband. And this goes back to what we were talking about several weeks ago with Stacey and how she communicates with her husband. Obviously, Timo didn't want to do certain things, so them as partners, they're going to have a sidebar to talk about how this is going to work out. Okay? So I didn't blame Angel. So Angel ends up having a conversation with Bobby about this. But even when Angel says it to him, she's sort of just like, I didn't expect, they want me to come and spend the night, but I kind of want to come back and be here. And when you watch the after show, and this is where I feel like Angel got it wrong, because, and again, if Karen was here, this is what Candace said recently on her podcast. She sees that Angel probably needed a mentor during the season. And her mentor was Kay. And I feel like Kay was not a good mentor because Kay doesn't know how to mentor herself. I think if Karen was there, Karen could have helped Angel navigate this better. Because Angel, you can't go home and you're supposed to be hosting the ladies. They want to be able to have like an overnight experience with you and things like that. So I will agree with them in regards to that. She's thinking, and she said this in the after show, she's thinking, I'm hosting you guys all day. I figured there would be some night activities, but that's it. But no. But also, I don't blame her. When they're talking about no water, there's an odor. I'm like, girl, I'm going to stay at home in my luxurious home. Okay? I'm going to do this. I'll stay over here. Okay? Myra says that Kay was not a good man. No, she was telling her all the wrong things. Okay. So, yeah. So Angel tries to have a conversation with her husband about it, but you could tell. And I don't know if production told her to have the conversation with Bobby. Kay's better than me. I'm not Kay. Angel's better than me because I would have had that conversation with Bobby off camera about this. I'm not talking about this with Bobby right now. I will talk to him about this off camera because, Bobby, I do not want to go over there with those ladies. I want to be here with you. Here's the thing, and I'm just going to be 100% transparent with you guys. If I'm filming a reality show, I get it. They probably would have been like, Kempire, you should really be with the group overnight. That's better for the group. No, my husband, the man that keeps me warm, that looks like Bobby, that's worth nearly $40 million. And my kids, and I can get a break from you ladies. I don't blame her. Okay? I don't blame her. I want to go home and be snuggled up with my 7-foot man. Not with you unhappy, bad juju ladies. I'm just telling you, me personally, that's what I'm going to be at home with my man, keep me warm, and my cute little babies. Okay. But I get it. She's hosting this trip, and she really should be. She should be doing a little bit more. And if you watch Housewives, you really probably should be spending at least one night with those ladies. Look, Bakery Clothes says, Kemp, we love your dedication to Bobby. My man. But I'm telling you right now, that's how it would be with my man. And I'm not one of those people that when you have a man, like you don't know your friends or anything like that. But as a Taurus, we are loyal to our people. Sometimes too much. And especially, I waited all this time for my man to find my man. And look, to find my man and have our babies. F you, heifers. F you, heifers. I'm going home to my man. Okay? With running water, exactly. And no sewage odor. City says, we love Bobby. Just saying. Going home to my man. But I get their frustration, like, girl. So she goes over to Bobby and it's just like, well, they want me to stay. And I wasn't planning. She's also breastfeeding. So that's an important detail too. She's also breastfeeding. We don't know whether or not she brought her pump with her. Yes, when she was traveling, she knew that she was going to be going away, so she brought her breast pump and things like that. Maybe she didn't bring it to Colorado, but she spends a lot of time in Colorado, so I don't understand why she wouldn't have it there, but she is breastfeeding. So, I don't know. Exactly. Lanisha says Shantae's got a man at home. I don't blame her. And a lot of y'all were mad at Shantae when Shantae came out with that song. Even at my teenage self, when Shantae was singing that song, I understand Shantae. Shantae's got a man at home. I mean, she ended up divorcing that man, but still, she got a new man now. Shantae's singing that song. She don't care about y'all. Okay? Cat Bravo Rex says, I'm a Taurus too. I would definitely rather be with my man than friends. Come on. Okay? Just saying. And if we don't have a man as Tauruses, we much rather be with our people. Because I have like a best friend, like we get each other. Okay? I much rather be with her than be with some of y'all. Okay? Like we get each other. We are the same vibe, same energy. But if I had a man, okay, but I think that friend would understand too, because she's that way about her man. A little too much though. A little too much, okay? But I get it. As a Taurus, I get it. I'm like, girl, you about your man. You about your man. But on the other side of this, you're on a reality show. There's certain expectations if you're hosting a trip. This is me twerking on a fence, y'all. Like, I get where she's coming from, but then on the other side, you're hosting a trip. Okay? Sidebar, if you watch the after show, the ladies were talking about how because there was no running water, that they wouldn't flush. Oh, hell. I don't blame Angel. I ain't going there. My toilet works. I got a bidet. Okay? I got a bidet. No. Exactly. Asia says, Bobby, I love you. Whitney Houston, may she rest in peace. May she rest in peace. Mr. Melon Magic says, so Kemp's letting us know, y'all. We're gonna get one recap and 3 videos a week when he gets a man. I've been telling y'all that. Who's here when I've already told you that? Please raise your hands. I've already told y'all that. I'm gonna come to work. I got bills to pay too. Unless the billionaire is paying them. Oh, y'all definitely getting 1 video a week. Tanya says you get 1 flush. Make it good. Ew. I can't. Based on what they described, I'm just like, I can't. I understand their frustrations. The amenities are not amenitating, but fine. Okay. So they talk about that stuff. Giselle thought that it was weird that she had to ask Bobby about staying with them. They end up heading back to the Airbnb, which is an hour away. I'm not surprised that it was in the pitch dark of night, okay? Not one video a year. Not one. I don't know about that, y'all. Exactly. Little Miss Sunshine, she said, Kim going to hide that man to avoid all the evil eye. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And if you see me in the street, don't ask me if that's my man. Okay. Angel says, I love my bidet. Changes everything. Never going back. I've talked about a bidet for the longest time. I've had a bidet for years. When I moved here, changed. I just gave my sister a bidet. My sister, congratulations to my sister. She just bought a house. I was like, here you go. You got a bidet. Okay. A fancy one too. So I love a bidet. I don't know how. And when I travel, I miss my bidet unless I'm in Japan. Okay? Unless I'm in Japan, then there's bidets everywhere. Even public restrooms, they have bidets. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, Melly says, not y'all reading me in the chat. Melly says, Kemp will give us one video a week and it will be pre-recorded. I'm glad y'all know. All right, let me focus. So they're driving back. It's pitch dark. And it's a situation. It's definitely a situation. I mean, I felt for them because now you're having to drive back. It's dark. It's creepy. There's mountain lions. There's all kinds of stuff out there. It was a little scary, but I blame production. I don't just blame Angel. I blame production too. But production's doing this as well. Was production flying a drone that we got outside shot of them driving in the pitch of night? Guys, I just dropped the call link for Royal Court members and senior royals as well on the post tab here on YouTube for those that want to call in and share their thoughts as well. Team Kempire members, I'll be dropping the call link for you guys in just a moment. Okay, it's not part of the membership, but join. Look, become a member at TeamKempire.com/join. Don't forget, guys, I always forget to wear this shirt. Are you okay? But this is like the African, Afrocentric colors, okay? Yes, go ahead. Go get yours today. Shout out to everyone that's gotten their Are You Okay merch. HouseofKempire.com. Exactly. Toya says mountain lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, and rattlesnakes. Okay. T says Dubai also has a lot of bidets. Yeah, certain countries that's very common. I just wish more places were like that. Everywhere in Japan had a bidet. Even the monastery that I stayed at for overnight, I did a monastery thing when I was in Kyoto, Japan, and but they had the fancy one. The monastery had a even more fancy bidet than some of the other places. Like when you walked in, those fancy bidets when you walk into the room and the toilet seat goes up. Yes, I was thinking, not the monastery. Who's paying for this? Oh, I am, because the monastery wasn't cheap. All right, all right. Let me move on. So, because I'm going to be live again at 3 p.m. Eastern, okay, for our Married to Medicine recap. And I have a lot of thoughts there. I'm going to make me some tea before then because I feel like my voice has gotten better the more that I've talked. Damn, Lou says, there's no tigers in Colorado, but I would be scared too. Well, okay, fine, Lou. We were being funny. Now you had to ruin the joke. Joking. Wait, damn. We have a lot of super chats. Let me go through the super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. I'm not mad at them, but thank you. And thank you guys so much for the Venmos, the Cash Apps, all of that. I appreciate that. That helps when we get coffee. Not that I drink coffee. Hot cocoa. Lunch or something like that. So thank you. So thank you for those that fill up my Cash App and my Venmo and my PayPal. So thank you. Taurus with the T, thank you so much for the super chat. Taurus with the T says, I'm a Taurus and I don't play about my Taurus with the T, you were the Sag? I know we probably talked about this before. How'd that work? I love a Sag. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I would date one. What's their moon and rising? That would probably make more sense for me. Love Calm Peace, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Love Calm Peace says, I'm still not interested in RHOP. Take GNA away. Well, damn. Patricia, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Patricia says, while I understand not wanting people to disparage her marriage, stating she wanted to know people and then using her family to isolate was tacky. It kind of gave that vibe. I agree, Patricia. Everyone left their family because they were at work. Good point. But remember, her family was evicted. No, play it. But remember, they moved back to Colorado instead of. It's not like Bobby could have stayed in. I mean, he probably could have, but you know what I mean. So I'm not surprised that Bobby was there, but to bring some of your friends there, if I don't know, it felt a little weird. Way of Key, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Angel is giving this ain't Phaedra about her man, but doesn't Giselle live in the middle of the woods? I'm sure she's used to having no water. She lives in Bethesda. Is that the middle of the woods? D&B people, weigh in. Bethesda's supposed to be a very good neighborhood in Moreland. Hey, Nelly, where you been? Nelly says, thank you for being a member as well, Nelly, and thank you for the super chat. Nelly says, that's what I said, Kempire. Jizzy going to Angel's home with no shirt? Nope. And then the y'all saw what Monique had on, where you could see, like, I mean, Monique, impressive, but I was just like, that's a bit much. Monique knew Bobby. She said, she remembers having conversations with him on the phone because you remember Chris was sort of mentoring Bobby when he first was getting into football. Ciara, thank you so much for the super chat. Ciara says, not going to lie, they've been hitting Angel below the belt from the beginning of the season. I think her husband is over it all because of all the low blows. That's definitely the energy I'm getting. And we're only seeing an edited version of those low blows. The Life of Samad, sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Samad says, if I was Angel, I would have gifted Ashley a tent at the reunion since we talking about evictions. It would be interesting to see what this reunion is going to look like. Sonia, thank you so much for the super chat. Sonia says, hydrogen sulfide collects at the top of a well when not used. You have to burp the pipes and it smells like rotten eggs. That's something Angel should have made sure was done. You're right. And again, as a luxury host, you really should be giving look, I get it. They are dead set on misunderstanding Angel, but Angel, you need to be on the top of this stuff because this is also considered your business. And I think if like a Karen Huger was there, she would have helped Angel with that. And we already know Giselle's not going to do it. She's not a mentor. She's a mean girl. Elijah, thank you so much for the super chat. Elijah says, love you, Cam. Sending good vibes, at least from me. Thank you. Thank you, Elijah. Elijah, thank you so much for that. Thank you for the good vibes. Jay, thank you so much for the super chat. Jay says, now how can anyone hate you, Kempire, from a Virgo? That's a Virgo. We have a lot of Virgos that watch. I'm just saying there are people that do. Weirdo, for no reason. There are people that hate me for no reason at all. All right? And sometimes I find out about it. So, but yeah, I get it. Not everyone's going to like your opinion. Here's the thing. I don't care to be liked by everyone. You know what I mean? But it's okay. Thank you so much, J.I., for the super chat. J.I., I ain't seen you in a hot second. J.I. says, Angel brought her rich, single, eligible men for the women, but they were not interested in those negative energy women. That's what I kind of was getting the vibe of, but I just also didn't feel like the guys were very welcoming either. Mr. Mellon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Mellon says, Ben had a cheap cigar and chapped lips. How tragic. I don't know anything about cigars, so I don't know. Was it a cheap cigar? Cigarnistas, weigh in. Teach, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Teach says, I think Kay told Cookie and Cookie told Chris in regards to the rumors. I feel like that's what happened, and they want to blame Stacey. I think they wanted to set Stacey up. Sassy, thank you so much for the super chat. Sassy says, why are they glossing over Kay calling Chris? Because they never clearly said that she did it. Bakery Clothes, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. The amount of projecting that Monique is doing is outrageous. She claims that she's healed, but I'm not buying it. We've been saying that. She's been claiming that she's healed for years now, but the behavior has not given that. But fine. Miss Parker, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Miss Parker says, Monique has hopped on the GNA hate train and she needs to get off. Projecting your marriage woes onto another woman is sad. And I'm not saying that she might see similarities, but you of all people, and I said this last night on X, you of all people that had a marriage that was attacked by these women, Even unnecessarily so. There might have been some truth to some of their attacks, but your marriage was attacked on the show and you didn't like it, and now you're doing that on this show. I just find it interesting. You think that you would be a little bit more sensitive. Instead of speculating to the group, if you really were a friend and you really were concerned, you would have went to her. Even if it was on camera, you would have went to her directly and said it. But what you saw, what Monique did in that moment around with the group at the fire pit, just like, he'll be all right. That's just dad duties. That is the real Monique. That is the real Monique, not the healed version that she would like for you guys to believe. Because again, if you look at her behavior, this is why you got to pay attention to people's actions and not the words that they're trying to feed you in some sort of book. Just saying. Okay. Tay, thank you so much for the super chat. Tay says, is Kay Prego? She looks in the purple confessional. I don't know. I know some of you have been speculating that. I don't know. I mean, if she is, Mazel Tov. But at the same time, gosh. Kay, speaking of Kay, thank you so much for being a member for the super chat. Kay says, imagine being on your period and not having any water, can't flush and have to share a bathroom. That's so disrespectful, even if you hate the ladies. I agree. But who's on their period? Did someone say they were on their period? Did I miss that? Sierra, thank you so much for the super chat. Sierra says, I sing that every time I leave the ladies. What? You sing, Shantae's got a man at home. And now I need to listen to that song later. After this, I'm going to listen to that song. Chastity, thank you so much for another super chat, my fellow Taurus. She says, Kempire, I'm screaming. The accuracy is real. That's how I am about my hubby. And I'm a full Taurus. And he's a Cancer. Or like you said, with my people. With your Tauruses are like that. I love that we can talk astrological signs. You are my people. We could talk like this. Some people just don't get what we're talking about. But Cancers and Tauruses are a fantastic match. I don't know if it's a good match for me, but yeah, Tauruses and Cancers are an ideal match. The Paw Sitter. Are you a dog sitter? Thank you so much for the super chat. My response to the ladies would be, I'm going to stay home and be a real housewife. I don't think Angel is that witty, to be honest with you. I don't think she is, or quick-witted. And what we're seeing on Traders, I did a live on Friday, y'all. For those that may have missed, you can also hear it on the podcast. I did a live on Friday where I talked about why Candace is missed on this show, because and what you're seeing on Traders is how quick-witted she is. The first 3 episodes, I'm just like, and this is what I love about Candace. I don't love everything that Candace says, but on a show like Traders where she's not going below the belt, it's more so just being quick and funny. She's good, and a lot of these ladies are not that quick and funny. I give it to Wendy. Wendy's definitely gotten to that level. Karen, that's what I miss of Karen on this show. Thank you so much. Yes, we buy houses. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Deidre, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Oh wait, let me shimmy. Thank you, Deidre, for the super chat. She says, love you, Kempire. Sorry, no water. I need to bathe. Yeah. I mean, this is where I'm saying that Angel, you could do better. You could definitely do better. Thank you guys so much for over 1,100 likes. Oh, that's because we got 2,500 people here for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. Let's get to 1,200 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for the general audience. Let's get to 1,200 likes. You guys have been here for over almost 2 hours. I've been talking for 2 hours? Lord have mercy. Don't forget to like the video, because if you're not liking the video and you've been here for 2 hours, what are you doing here? I won't know that you personally like the video. Okay? I know you're here probably taking notes for your recaps. But and now they're squirming. They're like, let me swipe out of the app. I don't know who's watching. It's okay. You're watching. You're here. Like the video. Okay? All right? You don't even have to cite your sources, okay, for your point of view. Millie says those 2 hours went fast, right? So, but I do want to give time for people to call in because I have to rewatch Married to Medicine and take notes for that recap. So I have dropped the call-in link for the members, Team Kempire members. I just dropped the call link for you guys as well. Royal Court members, we already got O'Shea backstage, Chef Lorraine, we got Angel, we got Keith, because they're Royal Court and Senior Royals. Okay, so thank you. So, but if you're a Team Kempire member, I have dropped the call link for you guys as well. It's not part of the membership. You get all other kind of perks for the membership. And I haven't forgotten about you guys. I will be doing like a separate video and live for you guys. All right. Oh damn, we hit 1,200 likes already. All right, let me give it a moment. Give it a moment. Let's get to 1,250. I shamed everyone to liking the video. Thank you. Jamie says, I love cancer men, not me. I've dated a cancer before. Yeah, All right, let's move on. Okay, so they end the episode. Let me get to the final parts of the episode. The next day, they have no water. Stacy's room is the only room that ends up having water the next day. They didn't have water the night before. They were without water for like 2 hours. So that means they couldn't flush. That means they couldn't brush their teeth. In the after show, Monique talks about Stacy's breath. This is what I was telling y'all. This is the real Monique. She says, and you know her breath be milky. She couldn't brush her teeth. And then Ash is like, and she knows she likes to talk close up in your face. They were talking about Stacy's breath, y'all. They were talking about Stacy's breath. Oh, wait, who gifted memberships? Hold on. Wait, who gifted memberships? I missed it. Thank you. I missed it. Can someone let me know who gifted memberships? Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. So Monique says that in the after show. They talk about Stacy's breath. All the way up north says, I would have gone to a hotel. Me too. Coco says, I wonder if she has halitosis. That's what it's sounding like to me. Maybe she has halitosis. I personally, and mind you, this is someone that has met Stacy up close and personal. She came to my live show in DC. I didn't have that experience. However, I told you if you came to the New York City live show, that someone that night came up to me and said it. And I was just like, oh, I was like, are you sure? I didn't believe them. I was like, are you sure? I was like, she was literally right next to me. But look, can we move on? All right. So moving on from that, let me move on. So Monique says that her room was so hot that she woke up with her face swollen. So there's other elements. There's a smell. There's no water. The air conditioning's not working. Okay. So Stacy asked whether Angel is trying to off them. She's like, is she trying to kill us? And she was like, they killed the pretty nice girl first, meaning herself. Oh my gosh. I have to say, Stacy has definitely grown when it comes to her quick-wittedness. I can definitely see her potential in regards to being a really good housewife. I mean, she already has been, but I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing the funny in her confessionals and things like that more and more. She's here to stay. She's definitely here to stay. Someone said I would have left. Absolutely not. Yeah. Okay. Kendra says, Kempire, we need you to talk about you on the Mary Cosby July documentary. I did talk about it, Kendra. And I did a whole thing, and I said, I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I was not informed that I was in it. Yes, multiple times. Kiana says that Carlos did a smell check, but she made sure that she was good that day. I mean, look, she could have halitosis, y'all. That is a condition. Are we making fun of someone's condition? Medical condition? Just saying. Look. But I go to the dentist. Okay. Acid says, I know Acid. I think this is why I connect with Aries women a lot. Acid says, Stacey's an Aries. It's the fire. You have a Leo moon Kempire. You know. Yeah. And I think it's why you guys like me. Thank you so much, Enda. End up Foxy Feline. Thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. She says, hey, Kempire, end up checking in from Vegas. I kind of understood when Angel explained the plans changed multiple times, which impacted her ability to secure a better house. I definitely understand that. That's why I'm twerking on the fence. I'm not mad at Angel, but I'm at the same time like, there are certain things she could have done better. Yes, we buy houses. Thank you so much for the Super Chat. It says, Tia said at dinner that Kay told Chris, I missed that part. Tia said at dinner that Kay told Chris everything. I missed that part. You see how you can get lost and stuff, and even after I watched it multiple times? Millie, I agree. And if you listen to my podcast in the early years during the pandemic, I would do a quip ad, and I was telling you guys how important your oral hygiene is to your heart health. Go to the dentist. I go to the dentist at least twice a year for my cleanings and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I don't play about my dental health. All right. I don't play about my health, period. Okay. Oh, Cherie says, I heard them veneers be stank. I didn't even think about that. But when you think about, okay, so this is why we digress. But when you think about veneers and how you have to put them on, you know, they shave down your teeth and then they put these fake teeth on top of it. That makes some sense to me because those aren't natural. Those aren't coming from your gums. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't think about that. Ew, y'all, who got veneers? Show yourself. Oh, I'm playing. But I'm not playing. This is why I'm keeping my real teeth. My dentist, because I just asked my dentist, I was just considering it, because this was a few years ago. My dentist said to me, when I asked him about it, I was like, what do you think about veneers? Because he does veneers. He's like, what do you think about it? It's like, you don't need them. I was like, all right, set me straight. Look, set me straight. Natural, okay? Okay, well, I mean, I did do, what'd you call it? What is it called? Invisalign. There we go. Marquel, thank you so much for the super chat. Marquel says, hey, Kempire, I don't see the call-in link. Marquel, I posted it on the post tab on YouTube. Post tab. Go to my profile. Post tab. You're a member, so it should be there. I'm looking at it. All right. Let me get to the calls, guys, because now we only have 20 minutes for calls. Live chat, we're almost at 1,300 likes. Let's get to 1,300 likes and I'll drop the call-in link. I know I said 1,250, but we're so close. All right, let's get to that. All right, let me just finalize some of what was talked about. So the ladies, they're waking up. They don't have access to water. Based on the after show, Tia revealed that Angel was crying when she found out that the ladies didn't have water and they were having all these issues. Apparently, Angel texted Jazzy, and that's when Jazzy told her about the issues because she said no one contacted her. No one reached out to her to let her know about that. Okay? So she says that she spoke to the homeowners, Angel said. Apparently, they had to restart the system. So that was part of the issue. She claims that none of the ladies called her, and she only found out about this from speaking to Jazzy. So Giselle reveals that she's working on relocating the ladies after the Aspen trip. Is that because I remember seeing a photo of her in Denver at the Four Seasons? So I'm thinking that's what happens. They end up going to the Four Seasons. I don't blame them. I don't even blame Giselle. Yes, let's go to the Four Seasons. Okay, and now she's going to take credit for it. Like, I did all this. Production did that, okay? Apparently, there's also the sewage smell in this Airbnb. Jazzy said that she also told... Jazzy told Angel about what Monique was saying about her marriage. So they start reacting to that in the car. They're going to talk more about that next week. So we'll talk more about that next week. All right, let's move on. Shout out to everyone. Hey, DJ Zora, who's watching on X. I see you guys. Hey, Jacqueline. Jacqueline's watching on X as well. I see you guys. Shout out to everyone watching on X. We have nearly 400 people watching on X, but we have over 2,600 of you watching on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitch. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to drop the call-in link for our Twitch fam first. Twitch fam, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys first. There we go, Twitch fam. And I will drop the call-in link for the general audience now. And for those that are calling in, please, once you're done, spoke your piece, please drop out so that other people can call in. We can only have a certain amount of people backstage. Please keep in mind the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. All right? And everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion. They're calling in of their own free will. Okay? Unlike the ladies at this Airbnb. They're not there of their own free will. Okay. Let's get to the callers. I hope if we're almost at 3,000 folks in the chat, then I feel like come the reunion, we're going to have like 5,000 people in the chat, right? So make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. I know sometimes it doesn't work. Turn them off, turn them back on. But make sure you're following us. We hit over 561,000 subscribers. I would like to hit 1 million this year. That's my goal for 2026. I wanted to hit 1 million this year. Okay, let me get to the callers. O'Shea. Okay, callers, you only have 30 seconds. Please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone. For those that don't respect the timer, those of you in the chat, shame them. Shame them. All right, let me bring up O'Shea. O'Shea, what did you want to share?
Not shame them. Hey, Kempire. I came to stand on my soapbox and defend Angel because it's her first season. I don't know what people want from her. The cast and this fan base. Yes, there were small issues, but like, I don't know what they want from her. She's done more than enough, I think, more than Giselle and Ashley and them have done in quite a few years. And as for the complaints about the house, I don't know why Monique and Ashley are acting like they never used to live in tents before they joined this cast. I'm baffled by that. And just a few episodes ago, they brought tinfoil of cold food to a half rented venue, and they are whining and complaining. And Angel ate the chicken. And Wendy ate the chicken on the way. Please. They need to let her breathe. Oh, sorry, I went over time, but thanks.
It's okay. Thanks, O'Shea. All right. I mean, you're right. He's right. Right. Chef Lorraine's backstage. So, Chef Lorraine, what did you want to share? Chef Lorraine, we can't hear you. You're muted. Chef Lorraine. I'll come back to Chef Lorraine. Angel's backstage. We're going to bring Angel up next. Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire. I won't take my 30 seconds at all. So I was going to get on Ashley and Giselle because their attitudes were very stank in the beginning of the episode. But considering the living conditions, I will give them a pass. Angel, please take the footage from this episode and from the after show and get your money back from those Airbnb people, because there is no way at 40 plus anybody should not have running water or be able to use the bathroom or brush their teeth or any of the normal things we should be able to do on any trip. So I'm going to leave it at that and be diplomatic. Not going to get on anyone's head. Just get your money back, Angel.
All right. Thanks, Angel. Thanks. Not the Angel. All right. Let's bring Chef Lorraine back up. Chef Lorraine, are you there?
Hey, Kempire, you see me?
Where are you?
I'm in my backyard. Look, I got on my traders.
I'm about to say, are you a trader? She got the hood on, y'all. She got the green hood on. What's going on, Chef Lorraine?
How you doing, honey? Happy New Year. Okay, I'm gonna make it quick. Kiana played Angel and tried to make her look bad because she used to actually work for Angel. So she tried to chin check her in front of the girls to make herself look better than Angel, when in fact she was Angel's assistant, her stylist. Mm-hmm. So now she tried to play to come up on Angel. But yeah, I loved it. Mm-hmm.
Wow. You think it's a scheme that Kiana set up?
Yes.
Wow. Yes. All right, Chef Lorraine. Thank you so much.
All right, honey. I'll talk to you later.
Take care. She really had. I need to get me a trader's hood. I'm gonna get a red one though, because I want to be like secret trader. All right. Let me bring up Keith next. Keith, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So first thing first, all I wanted to say was I just don't think Angel is housewife material. There's really nothing redeeming about her, if I'm being honest, other than the fact that she has money. But I feel like it takes more than money and having a nice home to be a good housewife. I mean, look at Diana Jenkins. Mm-hmm. So yes, she may have money, and we desperately do need that on Potomac, but she's just not interesting. And on top of that, originally she did say that it was supposed to be a couple's trip. So she ended up changing the accommodation because it ended up not being a couple's trip. But I am inclined to believe that if this was a couple's trip, each couple would have had their own room. Yeah. So why not just maintain the accommodations you had before rather than changing it? I don't know. There's something about Angel that just seemed very off. I'm onto her.
Like a liar?
Some of the viewers fooled, but I see you, Angel.
Oh, like a liar.
Something about you.
You think that she's lying? Okay.
She is.
Okay. I mean, she is a Pisces. Bye. Sorry, Pisces. All right, let's bring up April Aries. April Aries, what's going on?
Good afternoon, Kempire. You're so funny. The ladies, they did have valid complaints, and quick story time, I did stay in an Airbnb for my birthday, and I think it was like the next to the last day where we started having issues with the plumbing, and we contacted the owner, and he was pretty nice, fixed it, and I think I got a discount back on that, so that was good. I was kind of looking at Stacey sideways when she kind of came for Angel, but then I had to remember Angel did gang up on her during the season, so it was warranted. And I need Monique to stop projecting. Like, be quiet. Have a good day, Kempire.
You too. Especially when it's someone's marriage. Like, I just feel like certain things... didn't Monique say marriages should be off limits? Didn't she say this years ago? Okay. All right, let me bring up Toya next. Toya, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to say Monique was definitely projecting and she needs to stop. Bobby's a retired NFL player. He could have like a bad knee, back, hip, whatever, and may not be feeling it that night. And his friends were there and maybe he had plans with them. Something wrong with checking in. That's what a good partner does. Also, his friends were weird AF. Kiarna was the best. Like, her drunk is really a funny Kiarna, but I wish she would step in more to help Angel. She needs to be Lisa to Meredith. Like,
I didn't think about
jump in more to help her. That's your girl. You brought her in this group, and Angel needs to do better with the trip. Thank you.
Thanks, Toya. I saw a lot of people saying that last week. I was like, you know what? I never thought about it. I really don't pay attention a lot to Kiarna, but you're right. Where is Kiarna in defending her friend? And again, that could be edited out. Again, I always remind you guys we're watching an edited show, but I'm like, yeah, where was she? She was high and drunk, y'all. The elevation has gotten to her. All right, let's bring up Nia. Nia, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So just overall, I think Angel is a weirdo. If you don't want to sleep over, I think she should just stay. I don't know why she's hiding behind her man. Even if she does bring any sort of energy, at this point it's just delayed, just like what Giselle says. But also, sidebar, you said that she worked for BET as a host, right? Don't you have to have a personality? Because where's it? Okay. Bye.
They usually call those roles media personalities or red carpet personalities. Okay, let's bring up Taurus with the T. Taurus with the T, what's going on?
Hey, Kemp. Happy Monday.
You too.
I'll keep it very short. I think we should give grace to Angel because it is her first season and she has a lot of the veterans coming at her. So I do agree that I wish to see Kiarna stepping up a little bit more for her. And Monique is definitely projecting along in her healing journey. She needs to learn how to communicate a little bit better because as a therapist, I would advise someone that if you have something that close in nature that you want to share with someone else, you don't do in a group of people who obviously do not like that person. And really quickly, I stayed in the Airbnb over COVID one time, and the owners obviously did not have somebody thoroughly clean the place because I found a little bit of sugar booger in the cabinet area in a plate. It was separated. I swear to God, and I sent them a picture.
You found drugs? Look, some people don't get our terms. Taurus would say, you found drugs in the Airbnb?
I did. It was in the cupboard, and I sent them a picture, and I was like, hey, I think you guys need to come over immediately so we can discuss this. And they gave me a discounted rate. I was really only there for the weekend, but we need to start being a little bit more realistic. If she booked this place, she cannot also be in control of how the owners are supposed to be taking care of the place. Yeah. And that is all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Taurus.
I didn't use any of the sugar booger, by the way, but it was crazy.
You're a Taurus, you're not. All right, bye. I didn't use any of the sugar booger. Okay. Elle, my bell's backstage. Elle, my bell, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. I'm calling to just say Angel has had a tough season. I think she did a great job with all things considered. It's her rookie season. Most people do not host a trip on their rookie season. And then she had a beautiful mixer. She had a violinist. She had like an oxygen bar. The food looked really
I forgot
good.
about the oxygen bar.
Right. And then I'm just saying, like, the last thing was the Popeyes and stuff. Come on. Like, she really stepped it up for the group. And then if we talk about trips, you talked about Austin. Remember Miami when they were on that thing and they had prepackaged 7-Eleven sandwiches? So how dare anybody say anything about what she's doing? And she's going to fly him on a private jet. Go on. Go on, Angel. Do your thing. I want her to come back next season, too.
Okay.
I think with Karen, we'll see a different dynamic.
With Kiana?
No, with Karen.
No, I was asking, do you want Kiana to come?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, honestly, with Wendy and her situation coming up in April, I don't know what's going to happen. So go ahead and bring Kiana back. Oh. But I've already said Ashley can,
Yeah. Thanks, LML. I just took a glimmer of my teeth. Yes, teeth today. Yes. Okay. All right. Let me bring up Kathy next. Kathy, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. Hi, everyone. So what do I have to say? I have to say, I think the negative energy of all those ladies shut down everything in the house. That's one thing I have to say, because they had really bad energy. Yeah. And I have to say with Giselle, she has to remember a few seasons back when she invited the ladies to her house? They all sat outside and then she had the potty there for them to use. So for her to have so much expectation for someone else, especially since she's been such a mean girl to Angel, but now when you want to go into her house, you want to stay in her house when you didn't let no one in your house. That's so hypocritical. So Giselle, I just wish to get rid of Giselle and Ashley and see how the show moves forward without those two, because they really bring such a bad negative energy. And I think Monique, based on this episode, she can probably not return as well. She didn't add much. She actually showed how annoying she is, because that's what she showed in the other show that she was on. She was very annoying. She wasn't tolerable. I don't know. Something about her I didn't like. I like her, but I don't, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
But anyway, that's it.
Thanks,
I'm
Kathy.
over my time.
Thanks, Kathy. Bye. You remind me of, remember Wendy, because she wasn't getting along with Giselle all the time. She was like hating on this when they were out in the driveway hosting an event. And that was how many seasons in, Giselle? Come on now, girl. All right, let me. Okay, we have a long line. Let me get through all the calls. Tyler's backstage. Tyler, what did you want to share?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
So I will say I watched Angel on Angela Yee's show, and she said that her and Kiana, she used to be her hairstylist, and that they are really friends. She even did her mom's hair for her funeral, so they are very close friends. And she also said that they made a pact to kind of stay out of each other's beef, which is why Angel was trying to be nicer to Wendy and Stacey towards the end, because she said she didn't want they didn't want either party thinking like, well, Angel's gonna take Kiana's beef. I could see that. Both are whack though. Honestly, I'm sorry. Last but not least, just bring Karen back and let Ashley go. It's a simple cast. There we go. That's that on that.
Oh,
bye.
Thanks, Tyler. Bye. So that makes sense, but still, I feel like even on some level, and this is why I've said earlier that Angel was being mentored by Kiana and she was being misled. Because yes, they agreed not to stay in each other's beef, but there's now you see how that's being read on camera for us that are watching the show. You shouldn't listen to Kiana. She hasn't been a great housewife herself. All right, let me bring up Marilyn. Marilyn, how are you?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing well.
So two things. My first one is I watched your other video where you talked about House of the Dragon. So there is a Night of the Seven Kingdoms that's starting this month. So look into that.
Thank you.
Back to Real Housewives of Potomac. I like Angel's house. I don't like Angel's attitude. She needs to drop Kiana. And I think Karen should come back and just kick everyone's asses. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. Well, I have to agree with that. All right. Talaya? Is how you pronounce it? Talaya?
It's Talaya.
Talaya, what's going on?
Hey, so I'm gonna just defend Bobby real quick. One, because he a Leo and so am I, so I'm a little biased. But at the same time, my man is a Leo. Pray for me. Leo men can be very fun and outgoing, and I feel like he has that side to him, but they can't see it because, of course, Angel's telling her husband what's happening, so he's already got a wall up behind his woman. But men, in general, a lot of times, they just don't fraternize with other women. It's like, if you bring a man in the mix, I can chop it up with your guy, but I'm not going to sit there and chop it up with you because you're a woman, I'm a man. I want to talk sports, you want to throw shade, you know? So it's just like, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just shut off because of everything that's played out. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. I forgot Bobby is a Leo. Okay. Ariel, backstage. Ariel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
So I got some quick notes.
Okay.
Ashley's issue with Stacey is tired. She needs to get over it. Monique was projecting and she needs to chill out. Sorry, you hear my young baby. Angel should have hired a nanny for the weekend or for the time that they were there. Like, I get it. She has 2 young kids. I have 2 young kids and a husband, and that's a lot for one person to take care of. But she has the money to hire a nanny for the time being. And I hated that she made me agree with Giselle at the end as far as the accommodations. Like, she should have been there as well. Like, I don't get why she decided not to stay there. But have a good day.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Take care. Yeah. I'm surprised she didn't maybe have like Bobby's mom there or something like that, or maybe a scheduling conflicts. Who knows? All right, let me get through these calls because now it's about to be 2:00. And you know we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern for our recap of Married to Medicine. Chrissy's backstage. Chrissy, what did you want to share about Potomac?
Hey, Kempire, you can hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So let me tell you something. I would have been on Angel's head top too about that house, because when it comes to vacations, where you stay at can make or break your vacation. Okay. And as an island girl, I understand I can deal with certain things, but I'm in the US of A. I need water, electricity, and AC. They didn't have water. And then they were even saying the electricity was iffy. Like, their room was 90 degrees. So I would have been out the first night. I don't play like that. So, and then Karen, if Karen was there, the grand dame, it would have been even worse. So I feel like, come on. So that's all I had to say.
I feel if Karen was there, Karen would have been staying at Angel's house.
Karen would have got a hotel. Karen would have left.
Thanks, Chrissy. I feel like Angel and Karen would have gotten along, to be honest. But who knows? Who am I to say? All right, Anthony's backstage. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, everyone. Anthony from Los Angeles, California. How are you, Kempire?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thanks. So I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. Just one note for Angel. I understand this is the whole like Airbnb or a rental property type of thing issue. However, Angel, she has her whole Wonderland type of business about an experience in Colorado. So I do blame her a little bit for at least not checking what the house is, like what the house at room temperatures, how is the water, how's all of this stuff before the ladies get there. Yes, the ladies did have negative energy, 100%. However, since Angel has that whole business, it's kind of like, well, you didn't really at least look into it, or at least have someone on the team do something about it, because look at all these comments now. But still, the ladies deserve it, because all the there's nasty attitudes. But that's about it. Thank you so much,
Anthony. Take care. All right, let me get through these callers. Guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. We're almost at 1,500 likes, but we have over 2,400 of you watching on multiple platforms. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today. I also dropped a new Club Kempire episode recapping the final episodes of Members Only Palm Beach. Become a Club Kempire baddie today. There is a 3-day free trial that's still available. All right, let's bring up Vanessa next. Vanessa, what did you want to share about Potomac?
How you doing, Kempire?
How are you?
Listen, you shady putting that woman's husband's picture up every 10 seconds.
Okay.
How you doing?
And I'm doing it again. I love that photo of Bobby.
Okay, this is a good picture. Anyway, Angel, yeah, she messed up. This is her business. It makes her business look bad. I would not want to book with her. If you can't handle a simple Airbnb, how are you going to do a whole business? 3 words for Monique: go home, Roger. I love Stacey. I think Stacey handled the hazing like a champ. So I love Stacey. She needs to mentor Angel. Angel has the potential. I want to give her a little bit and just see how she does. But she's off. She really is off. Something is off with her. Who else? Karen. Yes, I'd love Karen to come back. So that's pretty much it. I give it about an 8. 8 out of 10.
All right. Thanks, Vanessa, for calling in.
Okay. Love you, Cam.
Take care. Bye. I will say this, based off of the votes, for those that are watching on YouTube, 61% of you guys are rating this week's episode between 7 and 10. I think it's still a good episode. If you guys had to rate the season overall, how would you rate the season? from 1 to 10? Let me know, because we're almost towards the end of the season. 34% of you are rating between 4 and 6. So I have to say, Potomac is doing better in regards to how people are feeling about the season overall. Let me bring up Excommunicado next. Excommunicado, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So I just want to say the whole Stacey birth thing is not shade in my opinion. And I don't know why the women keep going back to that. That is totally not funny to bring on such a large platform to talk about someone. And that is coming from me, who I think Stacey has a funky personality and I can't trust anything that she says at prima facie value. Beyond that, I think Tia has very valid reasons to not trust Stacey, but it is nothing about Chris. And also Stacey's comment about Angel having more excitement for Giselle than her husband was not really in good taste to me. And besides the Airbnb thing, I think Angel has did really well for this trip. But I'm wondering, why is everybody complaining? And I haven't seen Wendy complain though. And lastly, how did Angel immediately
I gotta
know?
cut you off. I can't do it lastly. I have to go.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks, Excommunicado. Yeah, we have a long line. It's already after 2 o'clock, and I'm live again at 3 p.m., and we still have quite a few people backstage. So I want to run through these. Mel, there we go. What's going on, Mel? What did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, Happy New Year.
You too.
Thank you. Now, I was just going to say, real quick, where do Giselle get off trying to come up here like she's the hostess with the mostest? I mean, I'm still waiting for her to tell us when she's going to take somebody on this cast to one of her homes, but I don't think she has one. We can sit around and wait for a couple of years until her neck and her legs look normal again, but we'll be waiting until never worry. So the simple fact is I need her to stop going after Andrew because it's getting boring and tired, and that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Mel. All right. You did that in less than 30 seconds. All right, let's bring up Maisha next. Maisha, what did you want to share? Wait, hold on,
Hey,
Maisha.
Kempire.
There we go. What's going on?
I just wanted to say I'm here for Angel, reciprocating energy. I'm not mad at it. I think I might want to see a second season of it just to see, because I think she thought she was going to come in and make genuine friendships, and it didn't work out like that. So now she got to meet these ladies where they are. And I didn't want to take up your time. Just thank you for this live. I needed this live because I had a rough weekend. My dad is in hospice. So thank you for this live, Kempire.
I'm so sorry, Maisha. Thank you so
And
much for
Happy New
calling.
Year.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. The Last Nerve is backstage. The Last Nerve, what did you want to share?
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't for you. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to say that I'm so proud of Angel. In these last couple episodes, she's actually been doing what she needs to do. I'm upset with Monique because I feel like Bobby was actually very happy to see her.
Yeah.
And then for her to constantly be throwing shade at him behind the scenes, I feel like he was like, dang, I can't even trust people that I knew before this. And also, the last time I called in a while ago, you cursed me with the Taurus because I had some choice words for them. But I actually just had my Scorpio on November.
Wait, I cursed you with a Scorpio, with a Taurus?
No, yes, because I had some questionable things to say about Taurus. Even though I'm a Aquarius, Taurus, Capricorn. But I said some things and you were like, why curse you with the Taurus? And I ended up having a Scorpio on November 4th. So you didn't get your wish, but it is your sister sign, so.
Well,
and he has a Taurus moon just like me.
Oh, see, so you got your Taurus. Look at that full birth chart. I bet there's a bunch of Taurus in that birth chart. Report back, The Last Nerve.
Born on the same day as Diddy, which is very upsetting.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second of all, check the full chart.
No, he's a Scorpio, Taurus, Gemini rising.
Oh, but check the full chart. There's more than just the top 3. Yes.
Oh, I've been looking at it. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this emotional water sign stuff.
Check the full chart, but you still got that Taurus moon in there.
Yeah. But thank you, Kempire. We love you.
Thank you. Take care. All right. All right. Ms. Squire is backstage. Ms. Squire, what did you want to share?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm late to the live, but I still have opinions. Imagine that.
Oh.
So I just want to say, Giselle threw a party in a Mommy and Me gym with Popeyes, and you nitpicking on somebody else's trip. Okay. Now, here's the thing about Angel. She has made a lot of missteps, but her biggest misstep is that she is not teachable. And that is going to be a problem for her being in this group. Because I think that when Karen returns, if Angel said you need to find somebody in this group who you will listen to, whose advice you find sage and that you will follow, because you keep on making missteps that you could avoid. You know these ladies don't see it for you. So when you bring them somewhere, it does need to be top tier. It just does. And you need to make sure that that happens. Don't give these people nothing to have against you, okay? To reach you. Monique, I'm upset that she chose projection instead of connection, and that's all I'm going to say.
Thanks, Ms. Esquire. Projection instead of connection. That's deep. That's a word. That's so true. Wow. Cynthia's backstage. Cynthia, what did you want to share about Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Boo to Taurus. My ex-husband is a Taurus.
And what's your sign?
Kempire. you said what, Kempire?
And what's your sign?
I'm a Cancer, petty Cancer. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a good Kempire. It was a good episode. I would rate it 8 out of 10. My only thing is Angel, Tia, and Kiana can go. If Karen does come back, the only thing I'm worried about is her sobriety. You know, because I know they'll still be serving alcohol. And damn it, Wendy, my sister Wendy. They're gonna go after her next season.
All right,
Yeah,
Cancer. Bye.
Bye, Taurus.
De La Shay's backstage. De La Shay, what did you want to share about Potomac?
And my man, thank you to my man. Okay, Bobby is exactly how I want mine to step behind me in the most gender expansive way because I'm a part of the community. But that thigh on top of his other knee makes me want to sop him up like a biscuit. All right. And also, I want to just say to Angel, and let's just be clear, her reaction to the house her reaction to the house was just as delayed as her clapbacks. You know, as soon as the girlies told her, she's like, oh, they never told me anything. They told you something last night and you didn't do anything. So what, do they have to give you a second, third, or fourth reminder? They're not Kiana. They're not your assistant to have to remind you that much. And I hated seeing her sit over them like an overseer during all of the little workshops. Like, girl, we're supposed to be enjoying each other. You're not our parent. We're not your children. Get it together. But I am interested. I usually agree with Miss Esquire, but I do feel like Angel is metabolizing a lot of the commentary. That's why we see her being the clapback queen in the confessionals. So I think the real testament will be the reunion to see how she delivers during that time in real time.
Most definitely.
Have a good one.
Thanks, De La Shay. All right, last but definitely not least, Miss Sharon's backstage to tell us about the sports.
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Happy New Year. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hey, I have a quick question. I like the show. It was okay.
She don't care.
And that's all I want to talk about. It was okay, but I would have left.
Who's made it to the finals? Didn't they have like the big games over the weekend? Who's going to be at the Super Bowl?
We don't know yet. They're still down to like 9 teams and one place tonight. And I forgot who it was. But my prediction who is going to win the Super Bowl is the New England Patriots. And Diggs is going to miss it. He's on trial.
Stephon Diggs?
His name? Huh?
Stephon Diggs, Cardi B's baby's fall?
Yes.
Oh. But then they scheduled they scheduled his trial date after the Super Bowl.
No, I think he's got a trial coming up.
Oh, it's another one?
23rd, isn't it? No, I mean January 23rd. Isn't that correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's missing the playoffs. I noticed he didn't play yesterday, so I think he's missing it.
Okay.
But I have a quick question for you. You said something about you talk about members only Palm Beach.
Yes.
What do you talk about that at?
Oh, the Apple. If you go to the Apple app and under the podcast app, I talk about it under Club Kempire. That's the paid podcast episodes that I do.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you. I couldn't find it on your, scrolling.
Oh, did you go? Did you go through on Spotify? Because it's only on Apple, the Apple podcast.
Oh, go through Spotify.
No. Go to the Apple podcast app. And then it'll say subscribers only. It'll give you the option to subscribe to the Club Kempire there. And you'll see those episodes are there.
Okay, can I subscribe even though I don't have Apple phone?
Yes, you can do it from their website.
Okay. That's all I had, Kempire. You have a good week.
You too. Take care, Miss Sharon. All right. Malaysia's backstage. Malaysia, what did you want to share? Malaysia, you're muted. Malaysia, you're muted. Malaysia. Oh, she dropped out. All right. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Moira, thank you so much for the super chat. Moira says, hey, Kempire. Hey. And thank you for being a member. Katie, thank you for another super chat. Katie said, hold on. Angel addressed people saying Kay doesn't defend her and said that she won't let the women break their friendship. Okay, but no one made Kay chin check you. That part. Way of Keith, thank you so much for another super chat. Keith says, Monique reminds me of vegans when they see someone eat meat. Like, girl, calm down. No wonder I like Bobby. There's just something about a Leo man. Is your man a Leo, Keith? All right. I will be a little bit late for our recap for Married to Medicine, but stay tuned. We have a recap at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go rewatch Married to Medicine. But I felt like this week's episode was interesting. There's a lot going on, lots of opinions. We're going to continue this conversation. Make sure if you enjoy our recaps of Real Housewives of Potomac, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But we don't just talk about that, as you just saw. We talk sports. We also talk about just other things. So make sure you subscribe. We even talk about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. Just saying. Life of Samad, thank you so much for the super chat. Life says, Wendy had 6 seasons of Grace. Of Grace. Angel can get it too. Ooh, not Wendy had 6 seasons of Grace. I don't know if she ever had Grace for me, but that's just me. But thank you so much for the super chat, Life of Samad. Everyone, we're almost at 1,500 likes. Don't forget to like the video. If you're watching a replay of this, be sure to check out all of our sponsors. Everything Kempire, including my merch, will be available in the description. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you all at 3 p.m. Eastern. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Gethard, and I'm very excited to tell you about Beautiful Anonymous, a podcast where I talk to random people on the phone. I tweet out a phone number, thousands of people try to call. You talk to one of them, they stay anonymous. I can't hang up. That's all the rules. I never know what's going to happen. We get serious ones. I've talked with meth dealers on their way to prison. I've talked to people who survived mass shootings. Crazy funny ones. I talked to a guy with a goose laugh, somebody who dresses up as a pirate on the weekends. I never know what's going to happen. It's a great show. Subscribe today. Beautiful Anonymous.